Spider-Man is a cop.
That was the perfect thing to launch on. So we're recording. Oh, but we're
Spider-Man's
recording.
a goddamn narc. Okay.
We're recording the nonsense of my jerry-rig setup right now. So the first 5 or however many seconds this is of the video are all literally just the Hall of Mirrors effect.
Nice.
So yeah.
Can we change the title on the stream as well, or is that a thing that we have to do in media res?
It's a thing that I do when I press the Go Live Now button.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm hoping that I can minimize the amount of Hall of Mirrors. We'll see. I cannot. It's gonna be madness.
Awesome.
Dungeons and or Dragons.
There's actually another playbook that I'm working on. That's like the Mysterio playbook.
What's our title?
Argent City Crime Squad. I don't know.
City Crime Squad Nemesis. Deluxe Edition? Starter Edition? Starter Edition.
Starter pack.
I'm now sad that we're not the Teen Girl Squad.
All brand new number 0 edition.
We're gonna have to play Teen Girl Squad next game.
This is absolutely issue 0. The fantastic origin story.
Exactly. We haven't even really gotten into anything.
Okay. Ready?
Special hologram.
Steady. Go. I know that's not how 5 nor 4. Oh God, I destroyed everything. Okay.
God, I made a terrible mistake.
I believe we're live. So, hi there, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, it's fine. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Zach, and I'm stealing the intro from Mike, our normal GM, because I am also hijacking the stream for this evening. We are, once again, these 4 fine individuals are helping me playtest my very silly Blades in the Dark super crime hack. For those of you who tuned in last time, you got to watch these 4 build their characters, sort of tie them to the setting, and determine how I'm going to be able to mess with them most effectively.
Okay. I'm not sure if we're live. Can someone confirm that we're live?
Yeah.
We are. I'm watching me talking on like an 8-second delay.
Oh, right. The Twitch app for some reason is not showing me us live.
Weird.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Twitch chat. Once again, Zach, he, him pronouns. I am running the game for tonight. We're gonna go through a little bit of the crew stuff for tonight, and then jump right in and get these folks in their first caper. So that should be fun. Go ahead and introduce yourselves in Discord order.
Hi, I'm Adam. Today I'll be playing Flynn Taggart, otherwise known as Telefrag, the former wet work agent for the government who was experimented on and now just wants to get out of the business.
Hey, I'm Matt. He, him, his pronouns. Tonight I am playing Lonnie McGillicuddy, a.k.a. Death Parado, the old gunslinger who seeks his shiny glowing rock.
I can't see the order because all of my screens are hijacked at the moment. But if I'm next, I'm Mike J. Dirksen Berard. He, him pronouns. I am playing Damien, the son of the devil. Lucifer, I think was for anyway. Damien Maine.
Yeah, it was Lucifer.
Because of the puns, and I couldn't. Demonic son of Lucifer and kindergarten teacher, also known as the Aethy Fist, and his desires to punch God before time runs out.
So I was thinking about that, actually. I had a noodle on that. Are you really an atheist if you believe in God enough to punch them?
Or is he just an agnosticist?
Well, no, it's something like Maltheism or something like that, if you want to be all super fancy. You believe God's real, but they suck. I can't remember where I just came across that word, but it was not long ago.
It's really there for the pun. Right?
It's fair.
The first iteration was Father Atheist, or like the disbelieving cardinal or something like that. And I was just, and then Matt said Aethy Fist. I think it was Matt. So
no, I believe that was Zach's brilliant choice.
Okay, then it was Zach.
I wish I had come up with that.
And Damien is shamelessly stolen from Monster Prom because I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm playing Enzo Corleone, That may or may not be a real name. I haven't really decided yet. He is a Mafia fanboy from the future who gets to go back in time and go to like the best Renaissance fair ever. He goes by the name the Consigliere. I still haven't decided if he mispronounces it intentionally or possibly just because I can't freaking pronounce it correctly.
Consigliere is how I'm going to be.
Consigliere.
You hurt me all.
I am who I am. I can't fight it. Okay, so for those of you who didn't tune in last time, or those of you who did and would like a real quick refresher, this is being played in essentially the Blades in the Dark system by John Harper, super quality human, and we are keeping a lot of the same things, a lot of things the same. The action words, the verbs are all the same. The attributes are the same. Stress is the same. Harm is the same. So if you've seen or played Blades, you're gonna think a lot of things are the same. It's gonna feel pretty same. At least those parts, because what we've done is we've given everyone superpowers and then set them loose in a pastiche metropolis, Marvel New York place that's still sort of forming, but is coming out. So, yeah, that's basically the long and short of it. There will be terms that are not Blades terms, and we'll probably have to talk about those a little bit when they come up. I'm not that worried about it. It's pretty easy to drop. Yeah, we'll get right into it. We left last time. We'd done the character creation. We'd gone all the way through playbooks, and everybody picked their stats and their special moves, and their needs, because each character has a need, something they have to get done in a certain amount of time, based on, and it's based on clocks that I have helpfully put up at the top of the map here in Roll20. In every session, those will tick forward one. And that's going to be a huge problem. So that's a major player motivation. And the thing that we didn't do last time is crew stuff. So I didn't have crews done. Over the last week, I've spent a little bit of time on it. I put some stuff together, and I think the way that I want to try doing crews, at least here to start with, is as patrons. You have some sort of sugar villain that will be watching out for your best interests. Funding you, slipping you resources, and in return, they're going to expect like you to behave a certain way and like do stuff for them sometime, right? Have I linked you folks to the crew document? Would it be helpful if I did so again?
I've got it via a couple vectors, so
Okay.
Can't hurt.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'll just go ahead and throw it up here in Discord chat real quick. So that is, so far I've worked out, I mean, I've got sort of the framework for quite a few more that I'm actually going to try to pare down to get where they're manageable numbers. But the two that I've sort of put together as perspective ones for this group are Shaxa, the demonic queenpin of the underworld, and Mayor Saxon Reigns, who is definitely not just an Osborn during Dark Reign XP. Definitely not.
I thought he was Lex Luthor, actually.
Also that, like, they're sort of the same character, really, in that very specific instance, right?
Such an
Yeah.
important character to have.
So, Shaxa is sort of the mafia kingpin figure where she controls a bunch of organized crime. You would be sort of working inside that network web. You would be sort of the Bullseye, Elektra, Echo,
We're the enforcers.
Is
We're
she
not,
the-
we don't
the mafia
write those.
Donatella?
sorts of characters, right? Like that sort of like the people that the Kingpin sends after Daredevil, essentially, or like Jigsaw, the people the Punisher goes and kills.
We're
Those-
Fancy Dan Montana and Ox.
Wait,
Let's
wait.
not kid ourselves.
We're the people that Daredevil kills.
No, and you're the people
Punisher
that
kills. Okay.
Yeah. As I say, Daredevil doesn't kill people.
Sometimes he does. Anyway,
He just feels really guilty about it.
yeah, he feels very guilty. Very guilty. And the other option is Mayor Saxon Reigns, who would turn you essentially into the Dark Avengers / Thunderbolts, where you are public-facing heroes that are basically just like weaponized against other superheroes.
So, like, I was thinking Shaxa is like the real obvious choice for us to play with, but like I'm willing to hear a case for Saxon Reigns. Like, if anybody wants to make it,
I mean, the case for Saxon Reigns is that we'd be the Dark Avengers, right?
which is pretty amazing considering we like are just absolutely god awful people from the start anyway.
Like,
But-
I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure out
yeah.
how somebody pushes your wheelchair around.
Well, at that point, it's not so bad. Then I actually have somebody like who's able to push me around. That it's okay.
Like, no, that's great because Damien winds up the semi-Thorish character.
Mm-hmm. Sort of, yeah. Yeah. Thor would probably be the demolisher on that team. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm into it. We can do whatever. Well, I'm fine with whatever, honestly.
Like, I want to hear other opinions, please.
Adam, your opinions.
I had thoughts on this and I forgot what they were.
Okay.
I think. So I thought that Saxon Reigns just sounded more interesting from a storytelling perspective. Of, balancing that public persona versus setting people that are willing to kill.
That's true. That's definitely got a push-pull mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the things.
But then again, I don't see Taggart wanting to have a public persona either.
Well, so if you look down through, and I'm not trying to sell you on Saxon Reigns, but like there's a crew special ability called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Should be of and not if. Of the Rich and Famous. And basically, like, yada, 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 you live in the tower, you have a public persona. If they do not have such a persona, one will be provided.
Yeah, you could give it
They
a
will
cost.
make you, they will make you a fake identity or just, like, let you wear the Hawkeye costume around like they did with Bullseye. And,
Or, Spider-Man, Venomous Spider-Man.
mhm.
Yeah.
If that's
With
something you
Matt
want.
Gargan, too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't even
Yeah.
good Eddie Brock. It was just Matt Gargan.
Matt
Christ.
Gargan, dude. Matt Gargan.
Love that shit, man.
Yep. So yeah, like if that's that, and I absolutely anticipated that. Like there are going to be people who are on the DL and don't want to be public. Yeah, so that's how Bullseye was, and that's how Matt Gargan was, and that's how I believe Moonglow was too.
Moonstone was Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
she was.
Moonstone was Captain Marvel. I mean, they all got like weird side personas, but that's beside the point, right? Basically, do you want to be political hitters, or do you want to be mob people?
Does Slim really want to be about that life still?
I'm a little interested in how the Desperado. Like where does the Desperado fit? Because I can split Damien either.
Like, Death Parado easily fits into Shaxa's crew as a hitman. It gets more interesting with Saxon Rain because I legitimately would have to come up with like a whole nother persona for him to be a part of, and
So I imagine because Saxon, just like Norman Osborn, right, has
Yeah.
this like huge industrial complexes back that like makes military technologies and stuff. Like they could potentially on like a long time scale build you an exosuit.
I was gonna say, has it become War Machine at that point? Basically, a War Machine XP. Because that would be awful and hilarious.
The joke is that it's not Norman Osborn in the Iron Patriot armor,
Mm-hmm.
but this time it's actually not Norman Osborn in the Iron Patriot armor because he's got the Desperado for it.
Death Parado.
Yeah, everybody, you never see him and Saxon Reigns in the same room. That's just because of bad timing.
Jonathan, tag.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to sell him on the Saxon Reigns thing. Like obviously Shax has no problem whatsoever. He just walks in the door and like sits down.
Yeah, Bazzano.
Yeah.
Like, he can't not do Shaxa is the thing.
Designed
almost.
for, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think he'd have a problem pretending to be someone else as he does this stuff on the side. I just don't know how you frame that.
Like, that's the thing. He could be in the mob. Like, is he really going to pass that up?
No. Oh man, now I kind of want to do it like I came back, was found by whoever for Saxon Reigns, but desperately wants to sell out the Jackson.
Now, Zach, I'm not saying that should be a mechanic in your game, but selling out your sugar Dawn for another Dawn.
Like flipping on your villain.
Yeah, that feels like legit.
Well, so there's already sort of a mechanic that is essentially the crew flipping on a sugar villain on the patron, which is basically like you get dropped to 0 tier and you have to go find another.
To get fired.
Basically, yeah, like you lose. Unlike crews in Blades or a lot of the other Blades hacks out there, your favor with the villain can go up and down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your favor goes up, you gain new special abilities, new crew moves, essentially. If your favor goes down, there's a chance you lose crew abilities, right? Like there's like, you don't get that anymore. We're taking that away until you prove you can get it back.
You failed me for the last time again.
For the last time again.
And the idea being that if you do that enough times, right, you wind up just like not having any abilities and barely being affiliated with them, and like maybe you have to walk away and find a new one. So I'm gonna start pushing. What are our thoughts about patrons? Do we have people that are strong one way or the other?
I figured we should go on Saxon.
Mm-hmm.
That was sort of my assumption,
Right,
but
right.
I'm flexible.
But I want to see the Roman Outborn game too. I'm just saying, like this group.
Yeah,
seems-
like that's they're both excellent choices, Zach.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then we are going to start in as is our tradition now with these Blades hacks, in the middle of the first job. Now the framing I'm going to use for the first jobs, I think, and I actually kind of like this, is you're currently tier 0 with Shaxa, right?
Mm-hmm.
She gave you something to go do to get that first tier, and that's the first move, and like in with the program, right? The job she gave you is that at the Argentum Zoological Park, which is up in Old Argent, the like old money from back when it was actually a silver mining town area, the big zoo up there. There are some snakes, Serpentes infernata, the devil's serpents, and they are on loan. I'm going like full on 4-color bullshit.
No,
Just
please,
be
please
aware.
do. Yes.
Like this is where this game rolls.
Wait.
They-
Are these snakes that are available that are in the zoo, or are they just like a hit squad? I'm sorry,
No, these are snakes in the zoo. These
like
are
real
these
snakes.
These are
Animal
biological
snakes.
snakes.
Gotcha.
Animal snakes. They are the devil's serpents, Serpentes infernata, and they are on loan to the Argentum Zoo from Tycherosia via the Tycherosian embassy.
Is Tycherosia a nation
Yes.
state, and perhaps
Yes.
in a not? Is it like a Western Asian nation state, or
Well, I'm thinking so. Like full disclosure, Tycheros is a heritage you can have in Blades. Like Tycheros is a thing in Blades in the Dark.
okay?
And so I'm just going to use that as like, that is our Lativaria. Or,
Yeah, Latveria. Yeah.
Over the area.
Yeah.
So it's an Eastern European country.
Pretty much, yeah.
Eastern
I
European
mean,
Western
at least until we until we decide to put more details in it. It's just not here, and we got some snakes from there. Okay?
They're real pretty.
So yeah, they're a couple of like rare, strange snakes from a country that none of you have been to, probably. Although one of you is really old and one of you is from time, and the other one, yeah, you might have been there.
I'm from hell.
Yeah,
And this guy is a Black Ops agent.
So yeah, and all you know is that Shaksa has told you she wants you to recover these and bring them back to her. They're at the zoo.
Is there an alarm sounding already? Like what? Oh, we have to do like that whole thing where we have like a plan. All right. We go in and we punch the snakes.
I don't know if we should. Well, you can punch the snakes. I'm just gonna like shoot the lock off.
The snakes? Snakes don't have locks.
That is absolutely true. Snakes.
That is
do not
very
have locks.
true. You intrigue me, sir.
Subscribe to your newsletter. So we're going to be using the standard Blaze rules of approaches and job approaches. I can't remember what it's called offhand. I'm pulling it up. And the die. What's it called?
Engagement.
There you go. Thank you. My brain drew a blank.
We figure out how badly we want to screw this up. Then we roll a couple d6 and we see how badly we screwed it up.
Well, you figure out in what way you want to badly screw it up. I think it's...
Yes, correct. We choose what kind of approach, and then based on the question we answer of the approach, then that determines how much engagement dice we get to see, how badly we screw things up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
For
the
the
approaches
start.
are assault, deception, stealth, occult, which we're going to change into sort of powers, like using one of your powers to get in, social, and transport.
I mean, it sounds like we're talking assault, but once more, I'm open to ideas.
Why are we assaulting a zoo again? That seems completely unnecessary. It's a zoo.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
how else are you going to knock the snakes out?
They have
What-
guards!
They're snakes!
Right. Snakes are
Okay.
dangerous.
Does a zoo really have guards?
Well, okay, so somebody tell me how you would find this out. Like, tell me how ahead of time you would have found any of this out.
Adam is,
Survey.
Adam is a
With the
ghost.
zoo.
Yeah. So Enzo prepares a dossier on the zoo.
All right. The zoo's pretty much an open book. What are you getting your information based on? I guess I should ask.
Yeah, well, I mean, the obvious answer is it's like chapter 2 in my little Amazon. We just thought it was the Nile rucksack. And like, I'm like, all right, so it's probably trying to conserve data a little bit and also to make this more interesting. Is it mostly lists out like things to go find and good sources for them? You know? So some of this is going to be stuff like going to City Hall and getting, the planning permits. Or actually for a public zoo, it's like, this is what they put on display publicly because they wanted comments and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're just like searching the internet, but with like the three extra steps.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty controlled. Give me a controlled study roll for that, and we'll see how that goes.
All right. Controlled do studies standard.
I apologize ahead of time for all the sneezing. I've got a cold.
I am awesome.
Hey, here, those are going around.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you straight up. You get a chance to resist this if you would like. I'm going to tell you the wrong things. You're going to believe things that are not true about the historical to you
Yep.
layout of the zoo. The historical to you security measures involved, and the historical to you location of the snakes. But most importantly, you're going to misunderstand what the snakes are.
No, we're going with that.
On a fundamental level, you are going to be surprised when you see the snakes. Okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, your mastermind has handed you a dossier of information from. Do you tell them you're from the future? Like, do people know this about you, or are you just like fonzing your way through organized crime existence?
Like, so far, I don't think I'm going to say that. Like, I know my rival definitely knows the demon. And, like, I'm going to guess Shaxa knows.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It is I, your paisan, Enzo.
I don't know much about setting up for heists and blades, but like, do we have more than one chance at this portion? Like, could I have just like went to the zoo when it was open?
Sure, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, you can go case the joint while it's open. That's fine. Yeah, and the zoo is actually, I assume you're going like during the day.
Yeah, normal business hours.
Are you like walking around? Are you just like do you have cotton candy, or are you just like, did you bring a small child that you stole?
Yeah, kidnap a small child or something. You know, the usual thing you do. We go to a zoo.
If we come along, I could just, bring a couple of the great grands and the great great grands, and we'll make a day of it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Literally take his kids to the zoo.
What I really want to do now is like open on the scene where all of you are in this giant gaggle of grandkids and great grandkids, and you are casing the zoo, and like Enzo is all excited about all these animals that are extinct in his time, right? So like,
Look, dogs.
Oh,
That's
that's
not
so
even part of the
depressing.
zoo.
So depressing.
um,
I was gonna be like, bears? What? You had to go and say dogs. Wow.
Well,
I got a bearskin rug at home.
yeah. So on your trip, I mean, this zoo is old. It was from like the way back, like before like germ theory. Like, this was like the place that the rich people used to take their kids to entertain them, or the servants of the rich people used to take their kids to entertain them. And
I remember when they released the animals to chase us away.
Yeah, you probably would actually.
the lion petting zoo.
So there's a bunch of like wrought iron and like old looking things that are fairly well maintained, but like the lemur cage. The lemur cage was clearly built in like the 19-teens at the latest. And a lot of the zoo is that way. It's like cobblestones and wrought iron and animals in not so spacious cages with not a lot of places to go. It doesn't look like it's a super great place to be an animal in a lot of ways. But then you sort of move into a more modern area looks like it was put in like the 60s or something. So like there's enclosures with a single log and a pool of water in them, like that the alligators are in or whatever. But then you get towards the very back edge of the zoo, which on the outside, as you drove in, you could see was fairly well fortified, like a tall brick tall brick wall, razor wires, the kind of thing they do to keep the riffraff out. And there's a fairly intense complex in here of sort of separate enclosure buildings, but there's a bunch of big signs. They're really proud of the fact they have these snakes, right? So you walk past like the giraffe pen and the pandas and all the way back, and you see this giant banner hanging above one of these enclosure buildings, and it just says Serpentus Infertata, and has like a picture of this snake with like horns, like little red eyes, right? And standing outside are two people with guns.
All right, Damien's there.
Yeah, you're all there, as
Okay.
far as I'm concerned.
Damien is wearing like a fedora and sunglasses
Okay.
to hide the fact that he has horns.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't change the red skin.
All right. So, yeah. Does Damien want to do something at this point?
I'm just letting everyone know.
This is called foreshadowing. So you go in through, and they let you through. They don't try to stop you, and you and the like family that has been brought with you, sort of file into this room through a set of almost like that airlock that they do on public buildings, right? With the automatic sliding doors, and on the inside there's two more people with fairly serious-looking guns. And then right in the middle of this good size, it's probably I don't know, probably 100 feet. Well, probably let's call it 50 feet wide and about 100 feet long. In the middle, running probably about half that size total, sort of situated in the middle, is a big glass enclosure with a giant snake. A giant snake. And it has, like, it's climbing a tree, or what's left of a tree, and, like, you can almost hear the tree groaning under its weight. This thing is probably 10 meters long, weighs somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 pounds.
That is the second biggest snake I have ever seen.
Is this one of those things where you're making a joke about your dick?
Kind of waves at you. Not when my family's around, jackass!
Watch yourself in front of the children!
Don't curse in front of my chillins!
That's normal in the future, I'm sure.
I was actually waiting for Enzo to be like, whoa, that was a penis joke. You still make these then? Now. Yeah, so giant glass enclosure inside. It's fairly well taken care of. There's like bushes and things, but it's you can walk all the way around the glass. There's a number of standing trees with like fallen trees between them. It's probably a lot of fun for this giant snake to climb on. There's a pool of water that it's sort of ambling towards. There's the room. There's a goat tied up at one end that it doesn't seem very interested in at this point.
If Serpius tis in Finzior.
Sure.
Sure.
Are you summoning your Patronus spec? Is that
what was the name of the snake again?
Serpentis infurtata.
Serpentis infurtata. Yeah, this don't look like a snake egg pie to me, but whatever. So yeah, this snake doesn't want to be fed; it wants to hunt. All that for Jurassic Park, Jim.
Yeah, and there are a couple more armed guards throughout the building. Those of you who are up on your sort of international politics recognize them as being in the colors of Tycherosia. These guys do not look local. They also do not look like people because they have like giant helmet face mask. If they talk to you, it's very vocoded.
Damien goes over to those guys.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple of like off to one side. Look like they're taking it fairly seriously, but like they really want to cut. Like you can hear them talking amongst themselves. I can't believe it. They left us here with all these tourists. This snake is in no danger.
Can you link me the character? Actually, I think I have it here. Open recent. I'm looking for actions that I can take.
Which one? I've got them all up.
Trying to do this without destroying the stream utterly. I'm failing horribly. Where's this? Somebody link me the character docs.
The character docs.
The one that has like what stuff you can do.
Well, there's this one, which is the playbooks.
Yeah,
And
playbooks. That's
it's
it.
gonna- yeah, there you be.
The playbooks do not have the action words in them.
No. I'm trying to figure out what my verbs. I have certain verbs I'm trying to remember, like rend asunder, like things like that, like what that does.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the blade's action verbs right now.
Mhm.
Come on.
Yeah,
Google.
there's two of them sort of standing off to one side. One sort of got his rifle like barrel down on the ground, butt leaning, like the butt of the rifle leaning against the wall, and like in a normal situation, he would probably have a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. But at this point, he's just like leaning back against the wall with his arms crossed. His friend's sort of his partner's sort of standing at attention in that sort of uncomfortable, you're going to get me in trouble stance.
Right. Yeah. So Damien goes with those guys and says, "Hey, fuck off! It's time for your break."
They look like the one that's here, the one that's standing against the wall, sort of turns his head angled very, very slightly towards the other one, and the other one turns his head like full on and looks at that one, and you hear the one that is leaning against the wall. We do not get breaks.
Yeah, you do. Look, I'm from hell, and when we want breaks, we take breaks because it's hell. Fuck you. I mean, for the ruling class of hell, for the people in hell, it's very, very different. But you, I'm telling you, fuck off. So go away.
I do not know who you are, but you should leave now.
I am Damien Maine, son of Lucifer.
Am I supposed to be impressed by this?
Well, I mean,
And he's
most
like,
people
he's
are.
stood up from the wall now a little bit. You can see him like doing the action hero turn, and then the other the like the neck popping motion.
Yeah.
And the one next to him sort of interposes himself between them. It's like, sir, I must ask you to leave the premises immediately.
No, it's okay.
I do not agree. It is not okay. Please remove yourself. And he like hand signals another guard to come over.
What's the No, I'm totally gearing up to roll a command here.
Okay, that's a
Okay.
command.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, no, Lonnie's kind of starting to notice. He's like, Edna, you may want to take the kids out.
So at this point, like all the guards are looking at me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. I would just like to go over your mission one more time.
Okay.
Before we start, just to make sure we're all on board, right?
Sure.
Your job is to find a mating pair of Serpentes infurtata and deliver them to Shaxa.
Like while they're meeting.
One.
No, but like a pair of potentially reproducing snakes.
That would probably be a bonus.
Like,
Let me
there is
stop.
only one snake that we have seen so far, though, correct? Not another one. There was only one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I mean, by all means, please pull infernal rank on the guards. I feel like this is going good places. But we're still sort of in like the setup / downtime action here.
All
Unless
right.
if we want to roll our engagement roll like right now, I'm into it. But
Like, we can do go time, but this is probably going to end really poorly for
it's
us.
definitely going to get action packed pretty fast. Which I'm not against. Again, you don't make the weird supervillain version of this game unless you want action packed.
Okay. I will slightly amend my my command statements to include for a beer, as in Damien is commanding these guys to go get a beer on him.
Okay. So you're attempting to bribe them off? Okay.
Well, I'm telling them that we're going to go get a beer.
Oh, you're going to go
they're coming
take
with you to get a
that.
beer?
What's that?
They're coming with you to get a beer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that sounds like that sounds risky. Not like desperate, but like you could wind up getting kicked out and like your photo taken and not allowed in the zoo anymore. That's probably the negative.
Right, but in the meantime, I'll have cause a huge scene and let everybody else get valuable intelligence.
Yeah, give me risky with like normal effects. The normal effect being the effect will be that you have distracted them.
Wait,
Right?
hang on, because here's my favorite part of this game. What's the devil's bargain?
I just love the fact that you were like, maybe have your photo taken of the red-skinned demon dude.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to forget him.
You know, because that guard's gonna be there like, holy shit, hold on a second.
Like, wait,
Oh!
you're the demon we don't let in here anymore.
Exactly, right? Like you're not gonna be able to scoot under the radar. What is the devil's bargain? The devil's bargain. I don't even know if I have one right now. Like this is it was intended to be fairly low impact, but the devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is that you're going to get kicked out of the zoo. No matter what happens, they're going to remove you from the zoo. I mean, you can fight them on it, but they are.
Okay.
You have now decided that you are being kicked.
Okay, so if I take the devil's bargain, I can get them to go with me and get a beer and then get kicked out?
Most likely. I mean, the effect is you've distracted them. If you crit, they might kick you out on your ass, and then one of them comes with you to get a beer. Maybe. But much more likely is they just like frog march you to the door and kick your butt out of the zoo.
Oh. But okay.
If you would like to go desperate, you can theoretically offer them like one of them a job in hell. And see if they'll take it.
The bad news is I have to kill you. The good news is you're gonna get punched. I guess I will not take the devil's bargain if I get removed from the zoo regardless. Oh, wait, they're not. Hang on. I have Nicole. Yeah, because there's the outside chance that I roll a 6 or a 5 on 2 dice.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't because I only have 1 die.
Jesus.
I may have forgotten how many dice I have in command.
Isn't it right there by where with the button you push to roll it?
It is, but for some reason I thought that meant 2 dice.
Red 1, red 2, please remove this man. And like two guards step back, basically out of nowhere, and they're dressed the same. Like they all have like the silver faceplate and the Tycherosian colors, which I haven't decided what they are yet. And like not heavy, but like fairly serious body armor. And they're carrying large weapons. And 2 of them sort of step out from a corner and begin to take you into custody, essentially.
Yeah, so Damien is, I'm not resisting arrest. Snakes deserve to be free. They are the bearers of knowledge. The devil took the form of the snake once. This is like caging God.
Are you just like don't tase me broing on the way out to
Yes.
create a bigger distraction?
But like with his hands up, right? And like doing his best to get all of them to pay attention to him.
Okay.
Lonnie is going to have his current caregiver, Tracy, roll him around to see if he can find the other snake.
All right, give me a survey roll. This seems pretty controlled, honestly. Control good effect as you find the snake.
Yep, seems good. Standard. Not going to take any bonus dice because I'm not rolling like that right now.
Oh, wow.
Booyah!
Nice. Okay. So yeah, your grandkid wheels you around this thing, and you're sort of like counter the revolution they're taking Damien to the door in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a pretty big scene over there. I imagine they have to like move some of your kin to get them through. But you're counter revolving and the watch looking very closely because you're down low and you're looking at the ground level, and you see like under the bush right next to the water there's a snake about this long. Little snake about this long, is bright red, and it has the horn. You see 2 little horns.
Which one's the boy and which one's the girl?
Yep, so that's what you see.
Okay.
That's what you see.
All right, so I'll report that back after we get out of here.
Okay. Is there anything? Are there other information gathering to do, or are we flashing forward to the engagement role of the actual job?
Adam, gather information. Doesn't look cool.
Yeah, you're the only one. Well, yeah, you're the only one that has.
Yeah, I haven't done anything, but I don't know. So I guess I want to see if there is like a vehicle that they use to transport these snakes around, like somewhere like in the back
Okay.
of the building or something.
Yeah.
like
So
that.
you bounce away. You teleport away to go see, or do you just walk away to go see if there's?
Probably just walk for now.
Okay. Yeah, you're walking around, and if you sort of walk the outside of the building as best you can, because you can't actually get behind it, fully behind it, on normal zoo paths, right? It's sort of built into the wall, or built back to the wall in an area you can't access without climbing a fence or teleporting. It's not obvious that there's a big gating, like a gate large enough to like get a vehicle into this building. From the zoo side, there are a couple of vehicles around, but those look like they might be either Tycherosian or rented by Tycherosi, or like zoo security. They're serious looking, but they're not like 600-pound snake hauling. But if you are inside, if you look inside, you look on the top of this building, or at the top of the building, you can see that it looks as though there's a sky door, right? That pulls back. And it's very likely that they got the big snake anyway, in via some sort of crane or helicopter or thing.
Okay. So I guess I have a very functional question here about my power of teleportation. Presumably, I can teleport with my clothes on.
Yes.
Can I bring other things with me?
That sounds like the kind of thing we're going to find out when you roll it, Fred.
Okay.
The
Trying to teleport a 600-pound snake, we'll have to see it in
yeah,
action.
I mean,
Okay.
it's possible you've got, like, in the past you've successfully teleported other people. It's also possible in the past you've tried to teleport other people and you rolled poorly and bad shit happened to them.
They're called Telefrag for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And how much of the snake goes with you?
Exactly. Like, how much of a snake counts as a snake? And so, yeah, if teleporting the snake out of the building is the plan,
Okay.
we're gonna see how that goes via rolls. That's one of my favorite parts about Blades. Plans fall apart. So, yeah. But I will say it's absolutely.
Sure.
I'm gonna make you roll for it.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. Anybody else have something they want to do, or do we like cut away on one of the grandkids, like chowing down on cotton candy and laughing at Damien as he's dragged out?
It seems like a good cut.
Okay. Now, what is our plan, everyone? And I don't need a big plan. I just need the.
The base.
Oh yeah, where's the
ID.
list? Is the list of approaches on? I thought it was on the character sheet.
It's
there
the
is-
basic parts.
Yeah.
Where is
Up
that?
at the top.
It's under planning and load, but there will be a question that we answer. Zach probably has.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right. So assault, superpowers, deception, social, stealth, or transport. So I mean, are we gonna go in there and kick the door down? That seems super easy for assault or for superpowers.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I'm kind of getting this thing in my head of trying to let the other animals loose to be a distraction.
That really feels like it pushes right into assault myself.
I don't. My concern would be that since the guards are nation specific, they're not going to care about the rest of the zoo.
They will if a lion pounces on them.
Okay, then you're talking about some sort of animal directing control, which none of us really have as a.
I mean, we could flash back and say we paid off a person to help us out on that.
Well,
Sure.
if we wanted to go that route, but
I guess the first question there is: do we want to try and be clever and sneaky about it, or do we want to go kick down the door? Is there a vote for kick down the door?
I mean, there could be a vote for, like, if we're trying to teleport the snake out, then it's kind of a culty. It would be like a tuna.
Yep.
a superpower thing.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, because like that plan to me strikes me. We can how we phrase it is entirely up to us, because that could also be deception to get him in there or something like that. I suppose technically it could even be transport, but anyway.
Or stealth.
I feel like
Um,
it's just
deception
straight
is
superpowers
basically the
for having
stealth
him
one, I
pop
think.
in and out like a snake.
But there's literally a stealth as
Is
well,
there?
though. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm awesome at reading.
So stealth and the entry point is the sky door.
Or through a back door that you didn't look at yet, or
Mhm.
teleport through the freaking like.
I mean,
What's
can
the-
Telefrag teleport us through the wall? Because that'd be great.
Again, that sounds like an engagement to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think let's set on that. I think at this point.
Okay, so we're going with stealth, and we had to find an entry point, and that entry point is the guy who teleports people and has frag in his name. Okay,
Are we doing stealth? Do we? Or are we doing a cult? Because we're teleporting in and teleporting to the snake and teleporting the snake out and then driving away. That seems like a cult.
Well, I think part of it is that you're always going to be able to justify it as more than one of these.
yes,
Yeah.
that's like this is all just a framework to do the thing in,
Mhm.
right? What it actually is doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is you have a plan and a detail that I can punch you with, right?
He wants a way to screw with us in some manner. If we screw
Yeah,
this up.
That's it. That's the glory of Blades. Is all of this is just a like narrative framework to get you to tell me how to hurt you. So where we're at with that is let's look at our engagement roll. Okay. Somebody do the math for me here. You
We get one just for showing up.
one just for showing up. Right? Is the plan daring? I think so.
We're stealing the only snake in our nation.
I am willing to give you that die for sure. This plan is daring.
Mhm.
I'm actually looking for the list now, and all I'm finding.
Give me one moment. I'll go get my
Oh,
book.
I got it. Hold on.
All right.
So is this operation particular bold or daring? Yes, absolutely. It's not overly complex or contingent on many factors. We don't know yet. I'm gonna say no. That's fine. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? No. I mean, not being able to stop teleporters isn't really a vulnerability. It's just like
Oh, it totally is.
It's the price of
existence.
doing business in the city.
Right? I mean, they should have thought to make an arcane ward against magic bullshit.
You don't know that they didn't. Okay. So,
That's going to come up.
But we're gonna find that in the engagement roll.
yeah, we are going to find that out in the engagement roll. If you guys bounce across town, we're going to find that out in the engagement roll. So you're not specifically. There's no known details that are a problem. Did you use any friends or contacts? We did not really. We brought the family. They were a distraction, not a huge help. I think you get 2 dice.
2 sounds about right.
I think we're rolling a 2 die.
Unless you want to give or take anything for other things we may not know about.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I want to see how this plays out. I want to see you plan on transporting the snake. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, did we rent a box van before this?
All right, so here's the thing about
We can
Blades.
flash back on that.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a flashback to me. Yeah.
That's exactly the kind of thing we handle when it becomes an issue.
So I'm remembering now. You haven't played this system at all.
No, I've never touched this
Okay,
before.
So you kind of play Blades in the Dark in reverse, right? Have you probably played like Shadowrun or one
Have
of
you
those
ever
games.
watched
No.
like Leverage or any like heist shows, Ocean's 11, anything like that?
I mean, maybe, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, so one of the things about those shows is the way they show you how good these people are at their jobs is you watch them and you watch them walk into an impossible situation, and then they tell you how they already thought of that and dealt with it, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, so-
so one of the mechanics in Blades is called flashbacks, and you can spend some amount of stress, which you haven't really gotten to yet, to basically say like, no, I would have taken care of that already. Like, while we're in motion, oh yeah, I totally would have rented a box van that could hold a 600-pound snake.
I
No,
obviously
would've-
brought my
would've
glass
hired.
cutter.
Yeah, I would have hired the monkey with the helicopter, like the actual like the gorilla that drives the helicopter, because we're in that city.
Yeah.
To help me airlift the snake out when I got it loose. Like, I would have done those things. And the more outlandish and less sense it makes, or the harder it would have been for you to do, the more stress I'll charge you. But basically, we're just going to jump right in and make up all the wacky details as we go. Okay?
Okay.
So, what we're doing now is we're doing an engagement. And that engagement roll... the engagement roll is just rolling some dice, and it'll tell us the position that the crew starts in. So, could be we make it through the wall just fine and there's no problems, or it could be that we drop into a waiting group of Tycherosian Marks people who are ready to blow us away because they saw us coming, or it could be that we bounce all the way over to Silver City because they have some sort of teleportation ward on the building. So mostly that just comes out in the roll. So somebody give me a 2-die.
Adam.
Just roll 2d6.
Well,
Oh,
if you go
on the
into-
character sheet, yeah, there'll be a fortune thing.
Yeah, so give me a 2-die fortune roll.
Where's a fortune thing?
It's underneath Frowns,
fortune.
far right column.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Cool.
I guess I don't need any notes.
Nope. Yeah.
All right. So 4, 5, 6 is success. Just 5, 6.
Just 5, 6.
5.
Actually, 6 I think is the only.
6 is full success, 4 and 5 is partial success, and a 3 or below is a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a full success. That means you guys start off in control. You are controlled on your way in. So what I'm going to say is, and we're going to skip. We sort of skip to the part where things get interesting, right? So a 6 on your engagement roll means you're in the building. You probably got blinked in one at a time via telefrag into a room in the back somewhere. Are you guys doing this at night? Are we?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah, I assume
That
so.
might-
Well, and I guess my next question is everybody going in?
Yes.
Cause like my instinct is to have Enzo out, like arranging outside and doing like logistic stuff, right?
That's fine.
Yeah, if you want to have the radio thing going on and we're just in there ready to go.
Okay. So who is going in? What is our entry team?
Team needs providing security. Unless
Desperado is definitely getting blinked in to do a couple different things, I think.
Do you have a motorized wheelchair on the job, or are you like being pushed? Like, is there a fourth
Do you have a
person
Sherpa?
being blinked in?
Whitney is the caretaker tonight. It's her turn in the schedule.
so
She's got the bandana.
I was gonna say, is she wearing a mask? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Great.
they always do. I tell them every single time. It's what they get on their 10th birthday.
These modern, newfangled facial recognition systems, you can't ever be too careful.
Nope, not too sure. What's
All
a
right.
facial recognition?
So you all blinked in. The 4 of you are in this hall. The lights are out. There's some ambient lighting coming in through the windows and the ceiling door, moon roof, whatever we're gonna call it. but and with that, you can see that you don't immediately see any guards. You are alone.
Aw, damn it.
You're in a controlled. You rolled into a control.
Yeah,
Don't worry. It'll go south fast. I mean, it's gonna happen, but not yet. So yeah, you guys are all in this. The glass enclosure is there. You don't immediately see the snakes, but it's dark. So, what do you do?
I'm going to try and see if I can see the snakes. Actually,
All right.
see if I can spot them, and they're
Okay.
I mean, I have night vision, so I probably have low light vision pretty good easily here.
Yeah. If you move forward, from your position there at the back, the big snake's not hard to find. Like the big snake is this big, like chunky shape on top of a slanted log in the enclosure. Just this huge chunk of just this huge pile of reptile that is sleeping or doing that thing that snakes do that is mostly sleeping. Right?
could make a hell of a steak out of that thing.
Definitely go with that. The little guy, not immediately visible. You may have to step up your efforts to find that one.
What about the goat? Is the goat gone?
There's no goat. Goats.
Okay. So the snake's at least eaten recently, so that's good.
God, it's gonna be a nibbler situation where like the little snake consumed the goat whole.
Yeah.
Or it's just a comfort goat and they had to take it away at night. Who knows?
Why take the comfort goat away at night? Who needs comfort the most?
Well, they need because everybody's there during the day. They get anxious and all that.
Do you do flashback for a comfort goat? For a comfort goat with us. Damn it.
I mean, we
can't.
we absolutely can,
We
actually.
totally can have
for
it.
two stress, we have a comfort goat.
That's exactly what flashbacks do. In fact.
Wait,
Just a comfort goat chained up in the back of a boxcar somewhere.
Mhm.
We just have to
Yeah.
find out that it's out of shit first. All right, so here's a plan. I punch the glass, we get the snake, and we leave, right?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Where's
Why are we
the...
punching the glass again?
Why
Let's
did you
just
go
go
for-
inside. Yeah.
All right.
Well, how are the rest of us supposed to help you when you get ate by a snake?
Where's the truck?
Truck's out.
Take care of it. Don't worry about it. Are you?
Okay. I'm good with whatever. Who wants to do a thing? Step up. Let's do this.
Secure your snake.
Yeah, I guess getting
That's
the big
got to be
snake
a-
first.
Wait, we probably don't have to teleport in. There's like a door, probably, to get into the snake enclosure, right?
No, it opens above. It
Oh.
opens on the top.
They dropped the goat in from above, just like they did with the raptors.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and teleport in. I'm sure it'll be fine.
He's gonna get it.
I'm just confused that you didn't teleport into the enclosure initially.
Well, it's only
Oh,
short
no, no.
distances.
Well, he did want to drop the wheelchair guy in there with a.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Oh, I can take it. Don't worry.
I've hunted bigger snakes than this in my day.
I told you this was
Um,
only the second biggest snake I saw.
Give me a prowl. Give me a risk. Or give me a controlled prowl to try to get through this thing. Right.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, you bounce off.
I forgot. Is there an assist?
Yes.
There is. You can help out. How are you helping him prowl? Are you throwing him at the thing to motivate him to take it through? Like,
Damien actually has some magical training.
okay.
It's
okay.
it's how we grow crops in hell.
Okay.
Why
Um,
don't you water them with blood? At least is what Father Matthias taught me.
Well, it's with the corpses, but you got to keep bringing the corpses back to keep feeding the hell beasts that are plants. I haven't thought this through. The whole hell ecology hasn't come to me yet.
Ah, that's kind of scary.
I don't think the hell ecology has to make sense.
But
I think it can just be pointlessly painful and sadistic, and it'll be fine.
I have a tune. That was the roundabout way of saying that I was going to help
Okay.
the telefragger not telefrag the snake.
You just
All right,
spend a stress
Yeah, so you spend the way that you assist in this game is you spend 1 stress, and the person who's helping, and you justify how you're helping essentially,
Right.
and then the person you're helping gets an extra die to the roll. So, if Damien wants to spend his stress and do incantations, or you like Naruto hand signaling at the wall.
Infernal no jutsu.
What's that quad damage rune in Quake?
Okay. I'll go find the image. Give me a moment.
I give Telefrag
It's
a
just
quad.
a-
Like I open a pouch of quad damage runes. Right here.
Okay.
We grow these in hell. Don't eat it, but just put it in your mouth. It'll be fine.
Don't eat this thing while you teleport.
Don't swallow.
It's the chewing part that's the problem. You don't want to break it in your mouth with your teeth parts.
What are you guys talking about?
Right? You wouldn't understand. It's a hell thing.
It's a hell.
You wouldn't understand it. All right, yeah. Go ahead and take your. I forgot your first name. Telefrag. Go ahead, since you're on the job. Go ahead and give me a prowl roll, since you're trying to like get somewhere you're not supposed to be.
Okay.
Give me a prowl roll and with a +1.
The bonus die.
Yeah.
So standard or controlled standard? Is that how it works?
Controlled standard effect is you get inside the enclosure, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
4.
Beautiful.
All right. So you get inside the enclosure, right? I think in part thanks to the quad damage
Yeah.
hole that Damien has opened for you. But since only 4,
Mm-hmm.
that's a partial success. So it's controlled. So I'm going to go ahead and start a clock that is the guard's attention, right? And so as you teleport through this glass, something about it and you teleporting through it has caused a reverberation. Like this is reacting to either the spatial change of you moving through, or like the concussive blast, or like you coming back from the netherworld, because that's how you teleport, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And
It's like a hell hall pass.
and it's making a woo, 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 woo noise, but like over a sound box that is as big as the enclosure, right? And so it's an audible noise,
Right.
probably even to outside the building. But you're inside. You're on the inside now. So you are one step closer to the goal. Is anybody else? So, Death Parado, are you like watching the door? Are you?
Yeah, I'm watching the doors, make sure anybody comes inside. I got this nice little doohickey I found in the Dark Continent, and it's dipped with these darts that put people to sleep.
Okay, so you have a blow dart gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what they call it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There are a couple of guards outside, standing watch at the door, and you see them like sort of turn and not partway turn. Well, at least one of them partway turns, and the other one is the snake is rubbing up against the glass. It happens every night. Just don't worry about it.
You don't want to watch this.
Yeah. No, it's gross, man. It's really gross. I have nightmares. Luckily, we have socialized medicine, so my therapist.
Here in that area.
Out in the, are you in? I will give you a box van for free as a flashback. And no stress charge.
I was saying, isn't the first hit free anyways on
If you want
flashbacks?
to go bigger, we'll like leave it unspecified, right? Enzo, the consigliere,
Yay.
consigliere, you are outside somewhere.
Yeah, in the
Like, sort of-
unspecified command center.
Are you like all the way back, or are you like keeping the engine
Yeah.
warm? Like,
Yeah, I'm somewhere nearby with the transport. Basically,
Okay.
what I pictured. And kind of maybe watching cams and stuff like that, and just on comms.
Your sensors of whatever you're in, or like your brain, or
Possibly my notes.
yeah,
Not 9:05. Check this.
yeah, it pops up, and you are seeing some like unusual drone activity. I mean, there's drones in the city. They fly around. There's security drones. There's like Nile Enterprises delivery drones. There's like all sorts of things that are just around. There's drones that hunt the homeless in Silver City.
Jesus.
But this is an unusual amount of drone activity for old Argentum, especially since they don't like drones here. These are much the old fuddy duddies that want their skies clear.
Local ban on drones.
Pretty much, yeah.
The war on drones.
The war on drones. So that's registering a tick for you. It hasn't nothing obvious yet.
All right. Still, I think that's something you should be proactive about. I think I'm going to get on a radio channel for the local airspace control.
Okay.
And basically fake a report of concerning drone activity, and to dispatch a hunter killer. Obviously, it's got like codes and shit attached to it, but it's okay because I've got notes for this shit.
Okay. Yeah, no, that seems fine. Yeah, you get on the radio, and there's like an automated reply system, right?
Mhm.
And then they don't hire people to do these things anymore.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, please register complaint.
Anomalous drone activity in sector G73, authorization beta GA5, authorized hunter killer dispatch.
Please hold.
Boom, ba-dum-ba.
What are you thinking this role is?
I'm saying command.
Okay.
That feels like the right word for me.
All right, yeah. Give me a command roll. We're gonna call it risky.
Yep.
Because you're calling it a hunter drone above your crime scene. But yeah, we call it risky. Normal effect. Normal effect is the drone shows up and hopefully does the thing that you want it to do.
All right, so you got Devil's Bargain for that? I might just push myself. I don't know.
Devil's bargain. Devil's bargain is the drone definitely shows up. Yeah, no, that's the devil's bargain. Like,
Definitely shows
the
up.
drone shows
You
up
get what you want.
regardless.
Well, like, I
The
don't
roll
know.
determines what the drone does when it gets here.
All right, I'm just gonna push myself because, like, the
Okay.
other one I can see is regardless, the drone will record shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just gonna push myself. I'll take one stress, and I'm pushing myself just for another die.
Cool.
Submit. And all right.
Okay, so you just pushed yourself, right? And you were using your knowledge powers.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So what does your thing say? I want some.
Yep.
I want some information here from you. I don't even have it open right now, so you have to tell
Yep.
me this.
So, part the veal. When you push yourself to use your powers, choose one of the following. You know something about what is going on you shouldn't, or you've seen this before and it didn't turn out well last time. I'm going to go with the first one on that one. It sounds more interesting to me.
You know something more about this? You know something?
I
about
know
this
something I
thing?
shouldn't. Yeah.
All right. Those aren't just any drones. Those are the drones that belong. Those are the thing that you know. The thing that you know is that those are drones attached to things shaped like legs. That's what you know. Each of those drones is a like grav-leved leg, essentially, and there are like 4 of them.
You got cows.
No, I'm like thinking like, was that the Sentinel? Is the Sentinel a cow?
Bat cow. It's bat cow. So that's what you know. Back inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you let's talk to Telefrag first. Are you planning on teleporting these things out in parts? Like not parts. That's the wrong phrase. Are you not planning on like take snake, bounce into room, bounce out of building, bounce into vehicle, or you're just like, fuck it, we're going all the way. You're gonna take the snake, and you're gonna give a bear hug, and you're gonna drag it through the underworld into a box.
I mean, I kind of assume I'd go right for the van with the snake.
Okay.
I just realized the funny
like
part.
to live dangerously.
Well, like they're just saying to make you look dangerous, like you're not with him.
Yeah, no. If he gets everything out, they can just bolt. And you and Wendy, is that the
Whitney.
Whitney. Whitney. I'm
Wendy
gonna
is
give her a new
funnier.
name every time. Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
go
I'm
back
gonna
for
run through my
Wendy.
list
Well, it's
of
supposed to be a
W
different
names.
kid every time, depending on the day of the week.
So yeah, so do you approach the snake and grab it? Is that what you're doing?
Now, get it!
Work to Ghostbusters.
I'm assuming at the minimum of my power to work, I have to be touching it. So, I guess
Alright.
that seems like my main. I mean, I'm not gonna run up to it. I'm gonna sneak up to this snake.
Okay, cool. So you sneak up to the snake. I'm not gonna make you roll. I already made you prowl to get in. I'm not gonna make you roll again. So you sneak up to the snake, and it's like laying, mostly just like sprawled out across this log, like the tail dangling down the other side. It's huge. It's just like this big. It's enormous. It's an. I googled what's the biggest anaconda, and this is the biggest anaconda, right? You get up to it. Are you gonna grab it, or are you just gonna touch it and try to teleport it?
I would assume just touch. I don't think I would
Okay.
ride the snake or anything.
Demon's got like a post-it note that says "punch it."
Okay, so yeah, just like on the window.
Yeah.
How do you like them snakes?
Is it just a bunch of dicks?
Just a
It says "punch it." Punch the snake.
All right, so this sounds like an attune roll to me.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, if we weren't starting from a controlled position, it would be a desperate attune roll.
Okay.
I think it probably still is a desperate attune roll, honestly.
If he's going straight to the van or wherever?
Yeah, I think so. I think getting it to the van that's like great effect, right? So that means this has to be a desperate roll. If you're trying to bounce piece by piece,
Step by
It
step.
would
Let's
be-
say step by step.
Step by step. Yeah, that's a much better line.
if you are moving the snake in chunks, then it is.
Legs of a journey.
Snakes don't have legs.
Quiet, you!
If you are moving the snake piecemeal towards the van, that would be controlled or risky. And so, since you haven't played this game before, basically there's three positions you can be in when you do something, right? And they really what they determine is how bad it sucks for you when you fail, right? Or
Okay.
only partially succeed. So controlled is everything's fine. I'm opening this door via the knob. It's going to be okay. Risky is I'm kicking this door down now. There might be stuff on the other side, right? So I could hurt myself. I could fall over backwards. A lot of things could go wrong that are not in the controlled version, right? And the desperate is I'm standing in a puddle of ice that's about to be electrified. I'm going to kick this door, which is also made of steel and will explode. Like desperate is bad news. So if something bad happens to you in a controlled situation, like it's pretty limited. It doesn't hurt that bad. What I'll probably have to wind up doing is ticking forward the guard attention clock. Right. If you do something risky, you might get hurt. The snake might get hurt. You might wind up in a really bad position. Like there's a whole lot of things can go worse. Desperate. If you fail a desperate roll, like failing desperate rolls is how you die. It's how you
Oh,
die.
okay.
Not every time it's how you
Not
die.
right now. But
It's how you
eventually.
Right
get
now, it's not how
real
you die.
bad.
But if you get put in a position where you might die and you fail it, well, you probably die, right?
Okay. That's good to know the scale.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and then the other side of that is the effect. So there's like limited, which is you're going to do a little bit, like not like whatever it is a fairly small version of the thing that you're trying to do, right?
mhm.
Like if like one of the Death Parado's grandkids walks up to one of these Tycharissian guards in the earlier scene, right? It's a controlled situation because he's not going to like kick the kid, right? But if the kid mouths off to the guard, they're going to have limited effect because the guard's not going to give a crap about what the kid says, right? That's a limited effect. A normal effect is like, well, this is sort of the normal version of what I would expect to happen if I succeeded at the roll, right? So I go to kick the door we talked about earlier, and the door gets kicked open. That's standard effect. Great effect is for some reason this thing that you're doing is awesome. It went way past what you would have expected for the thing to do. And you get more out of it than you would normally expect from that situation. So teleporting a 600-pound snake through multiple surfaces to an exit vehicle that we have not established yet, that would be a great effect, right? So I'll offer you either a risky with a fairly normal effect of like getting the snake out of the cage so it can be dealt with, or out of the enclosure so it can be dealt with, or a desperate great, which is teleporting straight into the exit vehicle with a 600-pound snake.
Oh, jeez. I have no idea what's a great idea on our first mission here. So we'll take the slightly less destroy the snake by teleporting into it while I'm teleporting with it
Okay.
option.
So you're gonna pull the snake out into the area, like immediately around the enclosure.
Yeah, or I mean, if I could hop like to the roof and then to the van.
Okay.
I don't know how
you
far.
want to try to pull a snake on the roof? The roof is probably risky. Yeah.
Okay.
Risky normal. I'm not trying. By the way, I'm not trying to trick you. I don't have anything to gain from like making you make a mistake here. The dice will do that for me. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to establish what you're shooting.
Okay. And then so this concept of pushing your power, that's
So you can spend. Yeah. So everybody has stress. If you look at your character sheet, you have a
Yeah.
stress. Flynn Tiger. Let me open it for you. You look at your character sheet. Right above, like below your name, the very like the first little thing there that's in like the black bolding is stress,
Mhm.
right? And you have that amount of stress. I think it's 9 before you trauma out. You can spend 2 stress to get an extra die on your roll. So I'm going to make this an attune roll because it's kind of a weird use of your power, right? Teleporting
Mhm.
a giant snake. So right now you'd be rolling 1 die and trying to get a 6 for a full win, or like a 4 or 5 or a 6 for a partial win, at least probably getting the snake onto the roof and then something bad happening to you. That's 1 die. So you have about a 50% chance of success on some level. If you push yourself, you get another die.
okay.
You can ask for a Devil's Bargain, which I'm probably going to wind up renaming because it doesn't make a ton of sense in this setting. But Devil's Bargain is, I will tell you something bad that will happen, or interesting or entertaining to me, that will happen for sure, no matter what. And it may be completely unrelated to the roll.
The what
And
if
you're
roll,
like-
the what if roll, or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. That's actually really good. So I will give you that, and you get to tell me, yes, that totally happens. I'll take that extra die, and you get to add another die to your roll. In this case, it would make
Yeah.
3,
Okay.
or be like, no, I'll stick with my 2 dice.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely push myself,
Okay.
and we'll stick with the 2 dice, and because
Okay.
that's 2 stress.
Yeah, so so when it comes up, you're looking at risky standard for your.
Risky standard with 1 bonus die.
Yep.
That's
You
not
got,
good.
oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh
Dear.
no. Okay, so that's a fail. That's a pure failure.
Yep.
So you are walking up to the snake. and you put your hand on the snake, and you go to teleport, and you can feel like you normally go into, like you normally teleport into a hell dimension, is what I remember there being a thing, right? Like
Yeah.
like Cerberus or Charon the boatman or something like that. Like
Yeah,
that,
sure.
that person your friend.
Charles.
So you start doing that, and you get the normal feeling of like moving through, and suddenly you stop and you bounce back into like this realm, and the other two who are in the room can see it. The snake's head lifts up off the side, off the branch, and turns, and its head is like the size of a small dog, like the head is, right? And it turns and faces you, and the eyes are yellow color. And it basically launches itself at you. And will attempt to grapple and harm you. It's gonna try to grab you and do a 2-harm wound to you.
Resistance.
So this is where resistance rolls comes. I love how you're getting the tutorial level. It's great.
Yeah, sure.
So the thing about Blades, specifically, and sort of all of these games generally, is that you are playing scoundrels and people who can fight fate, essentially, right? Like when I tell you a bad thing happens, you can be like, nah, it doesn't happen. And then what you do as soon as you say that, you're right. You're right. It doesn't happen, right? But what that means is, if you look at your character sheet, way over on the right side, you see how your skills, your actions, are under banners with, let's say, Insight, Prowess, and Resolve.
Mm-hmm.
You, in order to resist, you say, I resist this thing. You pick one of those, and they're what they say. Like, Insight is, I saw this coming, this isn't going to get me. Prowess is, I just dodged because I'm that good. And Resolve is like, I steal my brain against the attacking snake. I don't think it probably applies. But you then, so then you click that and you roll it, and you roll. See that first column of dots there? That's the number that you would roll. So in each case, you're rolling 2 for yours, and you roll, and you take the highest die that you roll, and you subtract it from 6, and that's the amount of stress you spend to avoid the thing. So if you roll a 5, then it only costs you 1 stress to not get attacked by the snake. Like, you can say or not get caught and like constricted by the snake. But if you roll 2 1s, it costs you 5 stress.
So my question here is that since this was a penalty for a failed roll, does my ability one step ahead kick in?
So read me one step ahead real quick.
Whenever there's a question of who acts first, it's you. When this comes up, pushing yourself to use your powers to escape only costs 1 stress.
Okay.
So if I was teleporting away from the snake to escape from it, do I act first in this situation? Or is that only for when I'm not in the middle of failing a roll?
Usually, so the power that's cribbed off of, the ability that's cribbed off of, is meant mostly for like, we're all like standoffs or like surprises or something.
Getting
like
caught flat-footed kind of thing.
Yeah, I do think you've got an excellent point there, though, that it is worded to the point where it would make sense if it was easier for you to get away in this instance. So give me a prowess roll with a bonus die, and I'll make a note to myself to look at that power later.
Okay.
See if it makes sense.
You might need to errata it so that way it can't be used to bounce out of, basically put on the stack, so to speak. Like that.
Weird. What just happened?
Jeez. Okay. I'm rolling a lot of 3s, but that was a 5 in the end at least.
Okay, yeah. So that cost you 1 stress. So mark 1 more stress on your track. And so that doesn't happen. So explain to me what just happened.
I assume I just let go of the snake, and do I want to leave the enclosure yet? I don't think I do. You said it's resting on a tree branch or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I sort of bounce around this tree so that it can't get a clear line of sight on me to lunge. So
Okay.
there might be a small quick teleport back, but it's just basically putting things between me and it for now.
And you're staying in the enclosure.
For now, yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Great. Yeah. So the snake lunged at you. You dodged. You avoided it. You look very cool doing the thing. And you are back. But yeah, now that's happening. Now the snake is hunting you in the enclosure, or at least responding to you as though you are something interesting. And it's a reptile that's a predator. So, yeah. Cool. What is everybody else doing?
I mean, I punched the glass, right?
Jesus.
Give it hell. Give it hell. Are you punching the glass, or are you like punching the glass?
I mean, it seems like our buddy's in trouble, and like somebody should come help.
Buddy is a very strong word to be using in this situation. I prefer casual acquaintance or business associate.
Oh, Grandpa, you make friends it's so hard for you to make friends. Just roll with it, Grandpa.
This is my
It's easier if I
opportunity to
don't
punch a
care about
snake.
It's true. This is totally opportunity to punch a snake. One of the things that you told the guards previously that was the image of God, image of Satan, and therefore a god, and should not be contained within these classrooms.
Yeah, but he wants to punch God, so...
Right.
It's true. Jonathan, I'm not getting sound from you. I'm watching mouth move.
Yeah, I was realizing that. I think I muted myself when I was coughing earlier. I was saying, hey, work your way up.
Also, yes.
Not wrong. Yeah. Give me. If you're actually punching the glass and you want to like power up and smash the glass, that sounds like a wreck roll to me. Yeah.
Is there a better thing for me to be doing here besides wrecking the joint to get the snake so we can get it out?
I am playing your game
Well,
for you.
I'm
and
talking to
also,
the other people. here.
What else would Damien do?
Well, also to the group, remember that like Blades in general is about people doing stupid shit, doing crimes. So like punching the glass is not out of character for the thing.
And yeah, and this game specifically, just like a stated design goal, I gave you powers that are going to get you into stupid trouble. That's the point, because that is the most entertaining parts of Blades to me, is watching you do things like teleport into a snake pit, be like, I'm totally getting out of here, you guys. This is going to be awesome.
And then
like,
you're getting
no,
chased by a snake.
There's armed guards outside. I'm going to punch this glass enclosure as hard as I can.
Oh shit! I have a way better idea. You ready for this?
Go for it.
I punch the wall that's between the snake and the van.
Okay, but leaving the enclosure intact.
How many like is the like?
It's on four sides. You can walk all the way around this enclosure.
So here's
Inside
oh
this
okay.
building. Like you can remove the wall. That's not a problem.
So I guess I punch the wall out between. So we're in a reptile. We're in a house, inside of which is an enclosure that has the snake. So I need to punch out the enclosure. Or sorry, out the wall of the reptile house to get to the van, and then I need to punch out the glass in order to get the snake.
Yep.
It's a two-way punch. There's two punches involved, but punch one is going to be the wall.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Give me a rec roll. Punching through a wall is probably a risky for you. Standard is the wall falls down. Yeah.
So do I need to power up here?
I don't think so necessarily, although I would love to see you do it. I think that's actually, yeah, let's say that your normal effect on like punching a brick / concrete / reinforced wall, the normal effect is probably limited.
Right. So I'll go ahead and I'll use Rend Asunder.
Okay.
So
So go ahead and read that for the class.
So I clicked it earlier, but when you push yourself to use your powers, choose one of the following: the destruction cascades unpredictably beyond the initial target, or the destruction is catastrophic and irreparable.
Okay.
And I think I have to use that when I'm pushing myself to use a power.
You do when you are pushing yourself to like really smash something.
Right.
You're sort of the Whisper for the team. Like the Whisper in regular Blades like gets in demon trouble. You get in infrastructure destruction trouble.
So
Right.
This is risky standard.
I'm going to say, yeah, if you're pushing yourself, well, it's risky, limited. If you're pushing yourself to gain effect, and that'll push you back up to standard.
Yeah, risky standard.
Come on.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh,
Alright,
Jesus.
There's
And
just
what
no
was-
dice.
You guys are rolling super well. Which of those two did you pick?
Cool.
Is it catastrophic or?
Yeah. I mean, so like the funner thing is like, so I have to use this one to use my power, right? Like
Mhm.
on a 4 to 5, like we should play with the wording a little bit, so it's like you pick what happens,
Yeah.
right? Because the funner portion here is that it's cascades unpredictably beyond the initial target, right? That's if it happens, it should be unpredictable. Or if it like I don't smash the wall, I accidentally smash the other walls.
Maybe key it to success or failure, right?
Right.
Like, you get to pick if you succeed, I get to pick if you fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because getting unpredictably is fun. Because I'm going to bring down the whole zoo, or at least a large portion of the zoo that you're currently in.
This house.
So you smash this wall, right? And I'm not going to take the smash away from you. You smash this wall good. What you did not smash was the retaining wall immediately outside of it. Was the actual like structural containment for the zoo, right? The big security wall on the other side is still there. As you stand there in your pile of rubble, considering the hole and the wall on the other side, everyone in the room who's not being attacked by a snake currently hears bricks start to shatter around in spider webbing cracks in the walls, and the building begins to crumble around you.
Oh shit! I punched a resonance cascade. I knew this would happen. I've seen Star Trek.
You what?
You've seen Star Trek.
All matter exists on a frequency, man. If you punch at the exact right frequency, you can shatter anything.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a hell thing. Roll with it.
Alright, so I am going to be super mean. I'm going to start a building collapse
Fuck.
clock of 4 o'clock, but I'm going to start it ticked twice.
A 4 o'clock
failed
ticked
that
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Um,
brutal.
This building's coming down. The real question is whether or not your snake's out in time.
Okay. Okay. Time to get fun then.
Also, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, be all slightly nicer. You're not going to like my interpretation of slightly nicer. I'm gonna take it once. I'm gonna take up guard attention twice
That makes
because
sense.
the building's falling down, and so it's gonna take them a couple of seconds to assess the situation. But you've got their attention. Just not you yet. So, yeah, the guards turn around on the outside, and they both get a little like,
Brink.
Exclamation point.
Hold on.
Above their head, and they turn, and one of them's like pointing and like pulling his weapon forward, looking in the window, into the airlock doorway, right? And the other one is like instantly on a radio. I mumbled.
We've got hostiles.
Yeah. Real quick, Enzo. Your notebook just got real interesting.
Well, and like I have two ideas to go forward with. I don't know which I want to go forward with. Not really mutually exclusive, but all right, we're gonna go with this one because it amuses me more.
Okay. That's
And it's anyway. So I think so the shoot, what was the name of the foreign ambassador thingy?
Tarkosian.
Tarkosian. Tychorosian, there you go. Clearly, the Tychorosian have some sort of barracks nearby because they have around-the-clock security for their giant snakes.
Mm-hmm.
And happily, sometime earlier today, someone dumped a bunch of last week's Mafia drone courier transponders on top of it. And it's weird, but they all just came online. So it's a good thing there aren't any attack drones nearby that would, react to those transponders negatively.
Okay.
Incidentally, I am totally using my free flashback on this because I can only imagine the amount of stress you want for that.
That's significant. Yeah. No. Okay. So
I'm just picturing like a duffel bag on top of their like little. I guess like one of the mobile trailer type things, like 'cause it's just a temporary thing, and just a bunch of lights popped on inside.
Like you can almost see it vibrate as it beeps. There's so many on the yeah. So for those following along home, Enzo is a mastermind. All these playbooks have at least one ability that lets them just declare a flashback for free. And the reasoning there is A, I love flashbacks because they're awesome, as previously shown. But B, I have noticed in play that a lot of times players are reluctant to use them because they cause stress, and they don't like that pricing. So what I want people to use flashbacks. I want them to use flashbacks in theme
Appropriate.
serving ways, appropriate ways, right? And Enzo, the masterminds, is you can just never tell us how that happened. Like, don't tell us how that thing happened. It just happened. The Demolisher gets one where, like, if you smash something here, just now falls down. So there's these, but in Enzo's case, like, yeah, there's a bunch of Mafia drones now over the top of that embassy, and that is now, like, there's a Reaper drone on the way to come and...
Well, there's those 2 flying foot drone things right nearby, and yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to start a new clock because I'm in love with clocks. I'm going to throw up a clock, and I'm going to start it, and it's going to be drone party. And this is how long the drone party lasts.
Okay,
So you have the drone's attention for that long, right? Cool. So that's happening. Desperado.
Yeah.
There are 2 activating guards outside. It looks like more might be on the way. You said you had some sort of dart gun.
Yeah.
What's the play here? Is
the play is to
is Winona wheeling you forward so that you might?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She knows better. She knows what to do. So yeah, well, I'm gonna stick my head out the door and.
All right. That sounds. If you're doing it from hiding in your wheelchair with your personal health aid person, is that prowl? Are you prowling forward, or are you trying?
I thought it was hunting.
Oh, you're hunting? Okay, yeah, no, you can totally hunt them. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm hunting.
Go hunt them. Hunt them. All right, give me a roll then.
In fact, this was a blowgun from a fella that I tangled with back in the early aughts. That was the 19 aughts.
Okay.
By the name of Alpha Zulu.
Okay.
And so I got this from him. And so this is my trophy that I brought along with me.
Okay.
So I'm going to get an extra die for this.
Awesome. Give him hell.
Great. So we're in risky position still with a bonus die. I could have gone worse.
Okay. So that's a partial success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're looking at risky standard. You wheel out of the darkness, and I'm imagining when they're both sort of like the one's already there and sees you coming and starts raising his rifle, and there's like blow dart, and starts to fall down, and the other one sees you coming, is very confused for a second, then watches his buddy start to drop, and drops the radio, and goes for his weapon and just sprays upward.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're probably I'm going to tick forward guard attention all the way because we've just decided now that's a thing.
Seems legit.
And then because that now means you're going to be dealing with guards, I'm going to call that most of the penalty for I'm going to call that the penalty. You now have the guard's attention. He missed, but he's going to get to try again. Does your care person wear body armor? Did you buy that for the grandkids? Or like?
Yeah, that would be irresponsible not to do that.
Okay.
I've got plenty more where it came from, but it's fine.
You go to war with the grandkids you have, not the grandkids you wish you had.
Yeah.
So yeah, they now have the attention. You can hear on the other side someone barking in Tycherosian, which you assume is Tycherosian.
Howdy! I came looking for the monkey house. You wouldn't happen to know where that is, do you?
Yeah, and then cut away inside the building. You can hear first fire from outside, and maybe some screams. Yeah. Who wants to go now? I think we should probably cycle back around to the person facing off against the snake.
Seems good.
Yeah. So my idea right now is to find the tiny snake.
Okay. I like as you're dodging the attack.
Yeah.
I imagine you teleporting up the wall to look around and back on the ground. And okay. Do you have some sort of unnatural/supernatural means, or are you just using your night vision?
Yeah, I think it's just basic training and
Okay.
the night vision goggles to help me see.
Okay. Yeah. Give me. That sounds like to me. That sounds like survey. You're surveying the area, trying to find this thing, right? Yeah. I think under the current circumstances, your effect's going to be kind of limited unless you take specific. You're going to see the tiny snake. Limited effect to me is you catch a glimpse of it, but it's skittering away from the scuffle or over there somewhere. Higher effects would probably be actually get over to it or grab it. But you kind of have your hands full, so this really seems like a limited effect gig to me.
Okay.
It also seems like I'm gonna say risky, limited to start. Now one of the fun things you can do in Blades is you can push yourself to get better effect, like Mike did earlier. You can spend 2 stress, and instead of getting a bonus die, you can raise to standard, which would probably be getting near to or even grabbing the snake, right? Or you can, the other way you can get better effect is by trading position for effect. Essentially, if you stop, look around, and concentrate on only finding the snake, and thus make it a desperate roll to open yourself up to the other snake attacking you, you can raise the effect to a standard effect as well. And catch the other snake. You just might be wrapped up in the big snake when it happens, which might not actually be a super bad thing.
I was going to say that actually sounds like the desired outcome right now.
Okay.
To capture the small snake while being captured by the large snake.
Okay, that definitely sounds like a desperate roll to me, for sure.
Please. Yes.
That sounds like a desperate roll. There's survey is finding the little snake, but you describe the overarching action you have, and you sort of pick the verb that does the most work in that thing. So if you're concentrating on finding the little snake, it'd be survey. If you're concentrating on putting yourself in a position to be caught by the other snake and catch the little snake, that might be prowl, I guess. So it depends on how you get to make the call ultimately, but it sort of determines how it shakes down in the description you get.
I'm definitely going for the latter, so if I can basically make this all fall into place with prowl, that sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, so you're bouncing. I imagine you're if you figure out where the other snake is, you can
Mhm.
bounce around the thing and sort of lead the big snake over to it, and grab the little snake, and be caught by the big snake at the same time. And then you're gonna like time your teleport out.
I guess after that, yeah.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. I'll buy that as a prowl because it's movement. It's pretty movement heavy.
I guess the other thing I don't know is how hard is it to reduce stress later on?
Easy.
It's
Don't worry about it.
not super
fine.
hard. Like stress is really the. So
You
later on,
want
you'll get-
6. You want 5 or 6 stress when you leave a scene.
Yeah, so later on, you guys are gonna go into what's called downtime, right? There's do the crime, do the downtime, do the crime, do the downtime. It's sort of the same, right? And in downtime, you get 2 actions, and they can be a number of different things. But one of them is reduce stress. You just roll some dice. You take the highest one. You lose that much stress,
Okay.
or you regain that much stress. The terminology is kind of strange because anyway.
You're basically clearing out some stress, sure.
Yes, you're clearing stress. So it's not hard to get rid of. Stress is really your primary currency to be awesome in Blaze.
Okay, so then I will push myself using, I guess this is my trespass against move.
Okay.
Basically, the first option is you evade or circumvent an obstacle in a way it's impossible to replicate without your abilities. I don't
Okay.
see anybody else teleporting around a snake right now.
Nope.
So take the bonus dice for that and hope for a 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Okay, so. All right, so you bounce around this thing. The snake is chasing you. The big one's not really a biter; it's a constrictor. So it's trying to get itself wrapped around you, and you manage to bounce. You sort of lead it towards one corner of the thing, and I'm actually you teleport over to the other one and grab the little snake, and then the big snake catches up with you and sort of begins the constriction move, and then you teleport out. And because it's standard, you wind up. Where did you? You can wind up in the building. You can wind up on top of the building.
I guess since it's standard, well, yeah, I guess on top of a collapsing building. On top of the collapsing building is better than inside of a collapsing building, I suppose.
That's logical. That is logical.
Yeah.
That's just science.
So you are on it's just science. You're on top of the collapsing building. The snake is wrapped around you, or continuing to wrap itself around you, mostly as a comfort object at this point. You're the goat now.
I'm the goat now, yeah.
And you've got a hold of the little one, wrapping itself around your wrists, and beginning to start a striking motion as we cut away.
I assume I'd try to grab it behind the head, but okay.
Also, because that was a desperate action, get an experience on your prowess.
Yeah. So the fun thing about like going all out is when you roll a desperate action,
Mhm.
you immediately get to mark XP for the thing that you rolled it for. So
Which is
in your
good.
case, I'm opening up Flint Taggart, right? Yep, you already marked
Yeah,
the
I figured
bar
that, yeah.
on prowess. Cool. Yep. And then when that goes all the way to the top, you get to put a new dot in one of your prowess skills. It's awesome.
Cool.
So, everyone else, let's go Damien. Damien, the building is collapsing around you. The snakes are gone. There's grunting. I don't imagine Telefrag like screams,
Right.
but there's scuffling sounds and
From
like
the roof. Yeah.
yeah, from the roof. And
Perfectly
then there's
normal.
shooting going on at the front door,
Right.
where your wheelchair bound compatriot has
Okay.
made.
I couldn't punch a hole in the wall, and bringing the truck to Flynn seems like a bad idea. So I'm going to try to bring Flynn to the truck.
Okay.
So
And your method to do this is
I've got pulse jump boots, so I can get to the roof.
okay.
All right, you gave me those.
I did. I gave you those. It was absolutely my intent that they be used in, crazy ass
Just
plans of
smash
yours.
And then I'm going to pick
Oh.
up Flynn and the 600-pound snake and the 6-ounce snake and jump down to the truck.
Okay. First, this all sounds great. I'm not trying to discount this. I'm trying to make sure I'm in yes and mode. Is it a truck? Have we determined that? And are we giving that call to the person currently in it?
Well, I can pitch my idea at this point. It'll probably end up being like an assist to you. Where our rally point was, our extraction point, because clearly we had one. We do those other things.
Yeah. We're
Um,
professionals.
yeah.
I'm
Sure.
not-
Why not?
There's a fire truck, tanker truck there.
Okay.
All got manned by a couple dudes, all dressed up in fireman stuff like that. It's got one of those tanks in it that have the water and can say conveniently hold a 600-pound snake.
Okay.
Is it the
That's why we let
Fire
him do the
Brigade?
thinking.
Huh?
The Fire Bats Brigade?
Yeah, well, it's an emergency vehicle, so they're not going to stop it, especially since somebody decided to put a building go explode.
Implode. It's mostly imploding.
Whatever. It's a good excuse for us to be here.
Structural failure based resonance cascade.
Okay. Okay. So, are you aiding in here essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Point of stressing.
Yep. Spin your stress. Mike, what are you calling this roll? I'm sorry.
There
Damien, what are you calling this roll?
there is nothing that's like sheer power of that sort of, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's not really skirmish because that's kind of like punching people while dancing around them. It's not really wreck because that's like punching walls, right? It's not prowl. It's not finesse.
Well, prowl is the move physically around an area skill, at least in Blades. But Blades does not have jump boots.
I feel like it's more of a finesse because you're trying to land on the thing.
I think it might be finesse. Although, like, I like the idea of you like rolling finesse plus your but with your giant strength involved. Like, I'm getting a very like.
Well, what if I don't care so much how gently I get them to the ground?
Well, that sounds like a statement that I can get behind.
Okay.
Well, and the other alternative is it can just be a resist roll. Just like a prowess roll of this is happening. What does it cost me? And
That sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Damien wants to tank something pretty much.
I pick them up, I jump them down to the ground, and I'm just holding them. And if they crush me, they crush me.
No, I just like the idea though is my assistants is they're out there with one of those little net things.
They're just a big red X.
So Damien like looks up, sees the snake wrapping itself around Flynn up above. Activates jump boots, flies like jumps to the rooftop, bear hug, like grab, roll, land on the outside, and there's like just 3 undercover mob dudes holding the trampoline, right? That
Yeah.
people jump out of buildings onto.
And I think my jump boots are going to be like, since we got a Flynn Taggart and we've already established like hell runes and something like that, it's going to be like the bounce pads in Quake, right? Like this thing shows up beneath my feet, or maybe it's just like brimstone teleport. No, it's not teleporting, it's right.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's the Doom jump boots. Duh.
something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Do you make an explosion behind you and you fly through the air so you're rocket jumping?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, give me that prowess. I assume prowess.
Yeah.
Or like, are you doing insight because you totally saw this coming?
Fuck no.
Like,
No.
Okay.
No. I'm going to resist this through main force.
all right, awesome.
Okay. So when do you want me to use unstoppable here?
What is unstoppable? Oh, so unstoppable is when you.
You mean-
Okay.
So I'm not expending myself to when smashing through something particularly tough. I'm using this to resist harm from physical force or scenery.
Okay.
Because if I'm going to resist the snake destroying me as a 600 pounds times a story or whatever, right? Of falling.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and spend it now,
Okay.
and we'll just not even make you roll because that's a free defense against that thing. What I will do, however, so I'm going to go ahead and tick the building collapsing up twice.
Okay.
Because not only are you like jumping through a structural part of it, you're then jumping off another structural part of it and smashing into some stuff.
Let's roll the prowess to get the dice on the table, and then
Okay.
make the unstoppable kind of like armor.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for. Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's exactly how that works. So roll the dice. You can decide after you roll the dice if you want to spend your super.
And I can't stress. Can I use stress here to make prowess better? No,
I believe
right?
you can. I'm not sure what the wording is. I think you can push. You can push a resistance roll, but your resistance roll is just to determine how much stress you spend anyway.
And remember, you
So-
get one from me. I did spend a stress.
Did I do this wrong? Or is that right?
No, you did it.
No, you did it. You did it.
Because you only get 2 dice. Because basically it's the first die of each attribute.
Yeah.
No. But then
Well,
I got to roll another one for the master.
Yeah.
For conciliator, which
Yes.
didn't help, but at least I rolled it.
Well, no, that
All right, so that's 3. So you can either spend. It's up to you. 3 stress or use your super to activate unstoppable and just say no.
I mean, 3 stress will put me in striking distance of traumaing out on the first engagement. On the other
They're
hand,
not traumas. They're not traumas. They're
Yeah.
quirks.
quirky out. But like, how much more of the Great Snake Heist can there be?
I mean, you heisted the snakes, right?
Right. Yeah. So I will burn unstoppable on that.
Cool. Yeah. So you land. I'm imagining you like quick boot right through this trampoline.
Hey,
They've, like-
hey guys, how fucking cool is this? I'm holding a snake.
Like just like a giant
whole thing.
massive snake. Like
Yeah.
you quick boot right. Like I imagine as they see you come over that wall, they abandon all pretense of attempting to save you. Right? So they scatter in 3 different directions, and like you just land where the trampoline is on the ground
Yeah.
and burn your way through it. Well, okay, so let's talk to the mastermind first. All according to plan, yes? This is all
Oh
going
yeah,
according to plan?
exactly.
Well, there's already a goat in a tankard, right? For the snakes after the very traumatic incident of flying through the air.
It's also been nicely chilled down, to make it nice and docile.
The snake
Oh,
the
goat.
snake has its comfort animal, though, is the thing, right?
How you doing over there, Flynn?
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, what is Mastermind? What was the means by which we were getting the snake in the tanker?
You're strong. Lift him up there. There's a hole on top.
Big stuff. Hole in the tanker.
All right.
Just tapped it in. It's fine.
I try that at the mastermind's direction.
You just like bump it over into the tank?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's like, can like the mastermind roll like, I don't know, tinker to like give me some sort of snake based.
Well, no. So let me put it a different way. Mastermind, did you put this together?
Yeah. This was
Is
definitely
this
a
a
plan.
joint that you built or like designed or like?
No, see, I had some friends, they're union, so, we know each other going back a little bit, and they just came by and they gave me a little bit of a hand, it wasn't doing anything tonight. I checked.
Okay. Did they have? Is this a special construction thing that they like?
No, I think this is just like they emptied the tank out a little bit, they made sure it was nice and chill.
Okay. So it's not like a tinker. I can't force you to do a tinker roll.
I tried.
Let's say this. What are the quality of your friends? What I want right now from you is a consort, right?
Oof.
Because you're bringing people in.
Sure.
Like,
I'm
are
good
these
with that.
three Jamotes that stole a tanker truck, or are they
No.
like a professional egress team?
No, these were folks who owed us a favor. I'm
Okay.
calling it a favor to make, that someday, it may never happen. Someday I might ask a favor of you.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I would pitch that as command is that I'm calling it a favor and because they're afraid to say no.
All right, I'll buy that. Sure.
And like I'm assuming they're gonna get paid something at the end of the night too, so it's a very mafia favor kind of thing.
All right. Well, yeah, and part of the command, if you succeed, like they like get their ass down there and help drag the snake into the tank,
Okay.
or like
Instead of
have the
going,
tools
what the fuck are you
do the
talking
thing,
about?
right? Like they were either they were completely unprepared for this shit, or they knew what was going on, right?
Yeah. All right. So we got command going on here. That's probably risky.
I'm gonna say it's risky. I'm gonna say that the results are not gonna fall on you.
All right. Yeah.
There is someone who is in a much worse position than you currently.
So you want to give me a hand with that?
I would, but I'm not there right now, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna deal with you in a second because I'm not.
Oh,
sure.
I figured.
I don't know. Do you want to be its emotional support animal, Telefrag? Keep it nice and smooth.
Well, I mean, you can assist by just like staying bound until it's in the tanker before teleporting away, rather than like leaving now, like any rational person would. Right?
Sure.
Okay.
You're tough. You've been through this before.
Yeah.
You've probably been in places with snakes before. You know how this works.
Why did it have to be
Yeah.
snakes?
The way that works is you just spend one stress.
Okay.
Give me a bonus die.
I spent a stress to give you a bonus die.
And then basically you say what you do, but we were pitching ideas.
Stay very still.
Try not to smell like food.
Hush, little snaky. Holy crap.
Critical.
Crit.
Alright, so yeah, these guys have like snake stashing tools.
Exactly.
They brought like
Exactly.
and like.
Oh no, they break out the wire handling tools because this was a rig that also handles bound electrical wires,
Okay.
and they're perfect for handling a giant devil snake.
Bound electrical wires and a water tank?
Down. So like, yeah.
Yeah,
This
there's
really
perfect
is a
things.
comic book Teamster joint, isn't it? This is like,
But like this just isn't the first time they've stolen a giant snake,
Yeah.
right?
Listen, there's a reason why I go to these guys.
I was gonna say, like, these aren't actually your guys. These are the guys that your guys turned you on to because these are the snake guys,
Mm-hmm.
right?
This guy's name is Jake. He handles snakes.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're dressed as firemen, but they're actually like the circus of crime clowns. So they
Like,
actually are animal handlers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, underneath they all have like they all have like under the fireman suit. There's all like spandex suits that are like snake or lion or like
Zebra.
bear themed, right?
Yeah.
So they get you loaded, and because you crit, they also extract Flynn with no damage done because they know how this works. It's basically they're reverse clown carring the snake, right?
I gotta Google that phrase.
See?
Right. So real quick,
And you were worried about this. What are you talking about?
yeah. So the one of these guys drops the lid on the tanker and like cranks it shut. All right, boss. We should probably get going, boss. I hear some propellers. Is those propellers?
Yeah, maybe don't look up.
And we cut away. Desperado.
Yeah.
I imagine time has passed, and like you've dispatched the other like aggressive guard, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
it's you and Wendy here in this building. The building is just at the entrance to the building. The building is about to collapse. I'm now filling in the building collapse clock.
We need to get away, don't we?
Yeah, so the building collapses behind you, I'm imagining like there's sort of like an Indiana Jones slash Uncharted scene of
Wendy pushing me away.
pushing you very quickly away, right? As the building collapses behind her. And there's like snarls and scared from the animals in the cages around you. What is your plan to get out of here? Do you have one? Are you going to play like the lost old man and talk your way out? Are you?
No, I am going to flashback. Thank you very much, because I'm a goddamn professional.
Okay. We need somewhere in the write-up. I'm going to make a note right now. There needs to be just like I'm gonna because I'm a goddamn professional. Needs to be a phrase that gets used by players in this game.
Yeah, not a madman like some people.
Hey.
Snake puncher.
They don't punch walls seemingly at random.
Yeah. What happened? What happens is, so there's been this. There was a bomb set on the other side of the wall. Because it would work either way. It would work as either a distraction, an escape route, something. I knew it was just gonna, everything's better with a little bit of dynamite, right?
Okay.
Right. Okay. And so it should be going off right about now.
Okay. Did you set it? Yeah. So part of the zoo wall explodes inward,
Set it and forget it.
showering the walkway with chips of brick and rock, and a nice even wheelchair-friendly path is cleared of rubble for you to be wheeled through. And just as you get wheeled out, you can see sort of closer towards the zoo's actual entrance. You can hear footsteps, heavy like armored footsteps moving towards you. Then you can hear like shouting in vocoder. That's almost impossible to understand. And yeah, so Wendy wheels you into the night, and the spectacular snake caper has come to an end.
A tail.
A tail.
Well, the tail of the snake caper.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I don't know, because I can think of one more thing to flashback.
Okay.
Well, because
I'm
we're going to
trying
get to
to
our epilogue here. So
I'm just trying to decide if I want to spend the stress or not. Basically, what I was thinking of is I gave a duffel bag to, what was it, Wendy? It wasn't Wendy, it was something else.
no, it's
Wendy's
Wendy.
funny.
It's Wendy now.
Wendy?
It was whatever we're calling her at the time.
Yeah.
The W.
And it just contained like a little incendiary device and a bunch of really big snake bones. And she was just told at one point to throw it inside the cage when she left.
Oh, I like it.
Covering your tracks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
much-
it.
How much you want?
Give me one. Give me one.
Alright.
That's decent. I'll
Absolutely.
give you that. That's fine. Yeah. What do you say we call a quick bio break, and then we come back and we do. I got posts. I got epilogue with Shaksa, and we can do talk some crew stuff depending on time. So,
Sure.
sound good?
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Wait.
Oh, we're just. Let me see if I can figure out a hold screen. Oh, I got my test pattern. Use that.
Test
Is it in 4 colors, Mike?
Ooh.
It's really in
an
2.
important question.
We'll fix it for
$2.
another time.
All right. And by a test pattern, I mean I'm going to go Hall of Mirrors while I mute us.
Oh God.
I mean, we kind of barely left.
Yeah.
I don't have. I haven't put together the scenes and stuff, but we're back.
Hey.
Back.
Hi, internet. We're back. So that was our first job. The idea now is, because we did a job for Shaksa to get into her good graces, we now, either before or after downtime, it's up to you, we're going to go report to her, and we're going to hand off the snakes. Let's just go do it now. So,
Yep.
Shaksa is a lot of places. She's kind of all over the place. And she's sort of a big deal. But she mostly holds court in Old Argentum. You don't have to go very far. In a theater, an old movie theater called Paradise Sought. Right? And it is an old refurbished stage theater that now shows movies, films, and it's all like old movies, like old mob movies and Zorro and that stuff, right? It's nicely refurbished. There's like all sorts of offices and rooms up above. It's this sort of place you'd expect a like demon, like someone who is affecting the look of an old mob boss to live in, right?
If it was any more of a mob boss thing, it would be on the waterfront.
Ooh.
Yes. She does not like. Shax is not down on the waterfront. So you show up. Do you have the snakes dropped off? Are you like having them driven there with you?
I thought we just took the engine like
Directly
almost
there.
straight there.
Yeah.
Almost straight there. I would
Okay.
think that we'd have probably 1 or 2 stop-off points, depending on what the mastermind thinks.
But we gotta do at least one stop to make sure we're not followed.
Yeah. You're not. I mean,
Sure, you can be the
the whole
A-Cat.
drone thing kept them pretty busy, I think. Chasing their own tails. Also, yeah, you're hearing like radio chatter about some sort of other fight that's going on right now between the Tarkosians, the name that I keep, Tychorosians, and some and a local that you did not encounter. I thought about just like making a superhero that was 3 lemurs in a cape. And I wish to be applauded on my self-control. Yeah, so but I'm not gonna like make you shake a tail or anything. That's not interesting. So we're just gonna zip right there. You pull up in front, like on the streets. Is it just like an old street in Old Argentum? One of the wider ones, so you can like fit 2 actual cars down it, right?
Yeah. I admit it has to have a loading dock, though. Come on.
Oh, like around back. You pull it all the way around back to the loading dock. Okay, yeah,
We
yeah.
pulled around to the alley, of course.
And you have to like back this thing in
Just
Like-
barely squeezes through.
this alley that's meant for like carts and
Yeah.
like was built ages and ages ago. Yeah, and so you but your snake guys are good with it, right? So they act like they brought snakes here before.
This would not surprise me.
So they park it. You get out. All of you that got here sort of by your various methods. And as your snake guys are like digging, the circus peoples are digging the.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. Making note about circus people as recurring characters.
Circus fireman.
Circus fireman gang? Question mark.
They've got to be from Brooklyn, and the circus thing is their hobby, right? Because everyone from Brooklyn has to have a hobby like that.
I was thinking like, yeah. So they study circus in the summer, but only because to be in the game in this city you need to be strange somehow. Right?
You gotta have a gimmick.
Like we just
Nobody
a
pays
theme.
attention to you if you don't have a gimmick. I'm telling you.
Like, we hit like Spirit Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And I grab these like suits.
They have like the plastic animal masks.
Okay, so yeah, they're getting this all pulled out. You 4 5 with Wendy, I guess. When you walk to the door by like some mafioso looking peoples, and like not just like Joey Soprano mafiosos, like pinstripe suits and fedoras and like red undershirt mafiosos. Like
Enzo's people.
These are everyone here is either all in or like cosplaying Alchemy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all of these people, right? And they walk you to the door. One of them sort of looks Wendy up and down. It's like, I can take the old man from here, hon.
She comes with me.
He'll sort of look around at the others assembled. All right.
She knows not to squeal.
Doors open. You're escorted inside. Through down a long hallway that's got door. The carpets are like thick crimson plush. The wall there are portraits on the wall of people who are like mostly human looking, right? Doors open into, or doors are closed doors appear to open into rooms that you're not going to. They're walking you straight down the middle to this giant set of like ebony wood, like dark wood doors that already have 2 guys standing out front. And again, pinstripe suits, the whole 9. They open the doors, they swing inward, and seated, reclined on a couch, facing away from you, is this enormous person. She stands 7 or 8 feet tall. It's hard to tell. Sometimes it might change. Who knows? Dressed again, full on like silk pinstripe, dark pinstripe suit. The hat is like on the top of the sofa next to her. Sitting next to her, sort of reclining in the opposite direction, is another female figure. The shadows make her hair look like it's moving in weird ways. And standing, leaning, sort of sitting on the back of the couch in a standing position with his arms crossed, is someone who looks a lot like Damien, actually. Devil-looking person with goatee, horns. The horns like stick up, like curve in front of the fedora, right? And you see him turn like, "Hey, boss, they're here. They made it."
Oh, thank God. I thought for sure that was my dad.
And then, oh, that would be awesome, but no.
No, it's your cousin.
You hear a laugh that sounds like deep and foreboding, but also like actual merriment, right? And then you hear a sigh from the other figure on the other side, and bills pass hands, essentially, as though there was a bet on whether or not you would survive your encounter with the snakes. The wet and bedraggled snake folks walk in the back door. Behind you, dragging a 600-pound snake and gingerly managing the tiny, incredible poisonous male. And the devil is sort of staring at you. Says, "Yeah, you can just leave those anywhere." And they just like drop the snakes and walk away. The big one sort of mills around at the back, and the little one like hits the ground, looks around, and makes a beeline right for the couch, like powering through you. I imagine you like step out of the way.
Yeah.
It goes zipping under my wheelchair.
Exactly, and like zips under the couch and back up, and you can see like the seated person that's not the boss lady.
Yeah.
Looking away from you, you can see suddenly like there's a new sprout of hair, right? And it sort of calms back down and points away. The boss lady stands up, pats her on the shoulder, and turns and faces you. And she's big. She's imposing. She looks like a demon mobster person. right? Like, if you've ever read the second run of The Outsiders, Sabak the demon, like when he's the Russian mobster, like this is what this looks like to you. So, I hear tonight went well.
We
Yeah, it was a smashing success.
thank you. There we go.
Haha, I like this one. Yes. Well, you have done what was agreed, and I always keep my bargains, so welcome to the family. There is room being cleared below from the last group that was not up to our standards. You're free to claim it at any time.
Do we hear the shrieking of a disintegrating droid?
Exactly.
Well, all right, but hey, Consiglia, you're finally a made man. Made man.
That's entirely other
You
thing.
get used to
Oh,
it.
yes. Yes, you are all made men, really, of bone and blood and meat. Such fragile forms men are made of. But you have your uses. So, welcome. Don't make too much trouble. I will be contacting you shortly. And with that, she like turns and sits back down. And the devil that's standing this way, like, go.
All right. Before we go, I need to know the Wi-Fi password so I can work on my my
Lesson
plan
plan?
for tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday morning, and I want to make sure that I get that taken care of right quick. I asked the devil.
We got a wise guy here.
Wendy, you gotta call one of them dimensions or something.
Look, pal, and this is the devil speaking now. Look, pal, just somebody will be along with all that.
All right.
I
I figured that since you were the porter, you might be able to, give me the email address and that sort of thing.
Jesus.
going, and he steps forward, and you can smell suddenly you can smell like sulfur in the air, right? And he's got like both horns. They seem to get bigger all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
And there's like fire trailing out of both eyes, sideways. Do not test me, son. Your father did once.
Yeah, it didn't work out too great for him. He's got a whole kingdom now.
Yeah. A kingdom of shit under the earth. We live up here, where they got booze and dames. Feel like we got the better bargain. Now get.
You know what they say. Better to rain in hell and all that.
Never really was much for philosophy. Yeah. Get.
All right.
Don't really have you pegged for the classics.
Now there's a guy who knows what he's talking about, yeah? Yeah. And like this whole time, the giant snake is starting to circle. Like a border collie that got bored, it's attempting to herd you out the door. Just like jumping around.
Thanks for the ride, but it's time for you to go.
It's kind of nice. But Wendy, take me back. I think it's time for a salt bath.
Yes, Brian, the old one. He's better that way.
You know, I knew a pickle guy once. And she's
And
really
then cut, smash cut. I like the idea of like, okay, I'm gonna hold forth on my history with these over. Yes. Okay. So that was Jaxa. You have met the new boss, who was the same as the old boss, literally.
Because she's an immortal demon.
Yeah.
So she's an immortal demon. So what this all means is you have a base of options if you want it. You are obviously free to just like meet more jobs and run them out of your homes, I guess, if you would prefer, or maintain offsite. Like if you want to spend some time plotting to like have an offsite lair, also cool, right?
The retirement castle said I'm not allowed to run a business out of there anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. Let me pull up a character sheet here. All players. And this is, what is our name, everyone?
No idea.
Okay, well, I know now. So
The crew I have for us is Thursday Night Fight Ball.
I'm going to call us the Fledgling 4. Yeah, so we're going to throw us into crew mode. So you are Shaksa crew. We can change the name, obviously. Your reputation is just bound to Shaksa, essentially, at least initially. Like, everybody knows what to expect from you because you work for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you work for her, that comes with certain things. So if you look at the... does everybody have a copy of the crew doc?
Your
See, everybody's looking at it, or at least a ton of people are looking at it right now. So, yeah. So you got the crew lair. I need to change the name of the lieutenant because we have too many Damiens running around already. So
No, Lucifer just names all of his sons Damien. Just
literally all of them are Damien. Like Damien, half of hell is Damien's.
Damien Bob, Damien Jim, Damien.
So
It's-
Shaksa has a couple things.
It's like the
Alright.
Canadian Guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gee. So, Shaksa has things she likes you to do, things she doesn't like you to do. One of the things she likes you to do are, like, make money and not get in trouble for it. The thing she doesn't like you doing is getting in trouble for it. Don't bring heat down on the family, is rule number 1. Your heat is your heat, right? So you lose favor with Shaksa by hurting a family operation, like going after somebody else that's in the family, or bringing a bunch of heat back, bringing more than 5 heat back. You gain favor with Shaksa by bringing in a new racket, or somebody into the family, or paying up, giving Shaksa money after a job, right? So, every once in a while, when you gain a favor level, and you gain favor is essentially we're gonna be tracked as rep in this. So you gotta fill up the rep bar to go up a level. When you do that, you will get a special job from Shaksa. This was essentially one of those where she's like, "Go give me some snakes," but they'll probably get harder as you go up in tier, right? Every time you go up in tier, you get an upgrade. Okay. So you're now tier 1. So go ahead and pick an upgrade from Shaksa.
That's the crew special abilities.
That's a crew
Yes.
special abilities. So they are Adversary of My Adversary, Earthly Legions, One Big Happy Family, Pain and Gain, Satanic Panic, and Sympathies for the Devil. So, yeah, there's a lot of text here. We can always do this sort of in between or next time too, if people want to do that, because I know we're edging up towards sort of our normal quit time.
Cut off time, yeah.
So what would happen now? What will happen now, assuming we want to run another session of this, is A, we figure out the crew stuff. B, now we go into downtime activities. Okay. And downtime activities are listed on the player thing, but it is delay, which is make your clock not move forward on your need, essentially. Fit in, which is how you get your stress back. Go be a normal person for a while, see how that turns out, get some stress back. Lay low to burn off some heat. I'm not going to track heat for this first one, maybe. I haven't decided yet. Legwork, which is do some setup for the next thing. Plot, which is do something big and long term. Get a new piece of gear, learn something, go find somebody so you can hurt them, get a new lair, that kind of thing. Lots of big stuff fits into that. Recover is recover from harm. I don't think anybody actually took. I think we resisted it all.
Just all stress.
And then training, which is you get to spend a downtime action to mark some XP, essentially. And everybody gets 2 of those, right? And the goal here, to put it all on the table, is to get your stress back, you have to go like, this is the thing that I do to de-stress. This is my normal life that I'm trying to live right. And that means you have to give me something normal that you try to do. Giant air quotes around normal, right? It can be like I go have dinner with the family because I have a family. I don't know if any of you do actually. I mean, some of you I know have family, but I don't know if Lucifer's really the dinner type.
Lucifer
Like-
loves a nice formal spread.
Fair. That's fair. Or it could be like hobbies. It could be sporting activities.
Like Damien would go teach at PS 666. His
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damien has a job, already previously established job, and Damien like goes and is in his element teaching. Are you a kindergarten teacher?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. You go be hell teacher for the 5-year-olds and get some stress back, and maybe something goes weird, and I record a bunch of details about your life that I can use to punch you with later. Is how that goes. So why don't we real quick talk about that? Do we want to do we want? I'm good either calling it here and letting everybody get some sleep, or doing our first round of downtime actions.
I'm going to suggest that we take Sympathies for the Devil for our crew book, because that gives everybody either 1 command, 1 consort, or 1 sway.
Yeah.
That's a nice little quick punch up to.
Good. I'm kind of looking at One Big Happy Family, though. That's a really strong ability.
Long term, absolutely. But I'm all about short term gains.
Yeah.
How important is the first one for getting additional schemes and more dice to legwork rolls?
So legwork is a downtime action that lets you like put together resources, or like, so for that no, we use flashback to get a bunch of stuff, right? But like ahead of time, somebody could have spent a downtime action and been like, okay, I'm gonna go find some snake people, right? So that's what legwork does, and rolling extra dice for that obviously means it'll pay off more. Schemes are things that let you push yourself for free, or I'll call a flashback for free in a job. So instead of spending stress, you can say, okay, yeah, we already planned for this. We got a scheme. This is our scheme. We'll do the same. Right? So this is just sort of a resource, a crew-wide resource that you accrue. The downtime action of legwork lets you put together some resources stuff, but also every time you take it, it generates 1 scheme. Scheme that's mostly how you get scheme. So for every one of you that spends, because you get 2 downtime actions between each job, right? So if one of you spends 1 on legwork, you get 1 scheme. If all 4 of you spend 1 on legwork, you get 4 scheme. So how much scheme you have going in, it's a variable thing, and it's basically how much you want to lean into it. I guess
I guess, yeah, for now, that one's my vote.
Jonathan, what's your thought?
Are you going to tiebreakers, or are you going to like fragment as?
I actually really like Sympathies for the Devil, so I don't think I'm tie breaking.
I will say this though, as a player, when I play Blades games,
Yeah.
I always want to get something to 3.
Yeah.
Like I want 3 dice default in the thing that I lean on the most.
Well, and
It's
like me
that's like
selfishly,
the least useful group for me.
But
yeah,
so
I don't do that.
it's
so.
not. It's always good to beef up your defenses too.
yeah. I mean, for me, I'm definitely. If we do that, I would take command at 3, just because that fits the mafioso thing for me very strongly. And like I said, it's basically how I make other people do shit, which is going to be a big thing for mine. Because like, I'm strongly thinking of swapping that point and prowl over to Tinker. Well, it makes more sense to me for like the setup stuff and like the technology things.
Well,
It just leaves. It just leaves me with no prowess skills whatsoever.
Yeah, we
I
want
like
to
the
be like.
guy just kind of hanging back and moving us around.
So yeah, so the other thing to keep in mind, not only those or the resistance rolls use those, but fitting in and getting stress back uses those too. Right?
Yep. Yep.
So the more dots you have, the lowest one.
Yep.
The lowest resistance you have is what you use to get stress back, and if you have 0,
You roll
you
two
roll
dice.
2 dice and take the lowest.
Yep. How do you do? What is it when you roll over the amount of stress you have?
So when you in this
Call that
game,
Bender.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah, so,
yeah, but what do you do? I really fit in. It was
okay, so
weird.
the way
You
this
get
works,
lost in life.
yeah, so the way this works in Blades is there's like a chart of things you can take and like, oh yeah, I like got blackout drunk and disappeared for, or like the cops got involved and like I raised the heat of the crew or whatever. In this, what's going to happen, because in my secret hope is this becomes like a weird family dramedy strapped to like explosive madness, is when you fit in and you overindulge, essentially when you get too much stress back, something weird complicates your life, right?
Oh,
Like-
is that basically like leaking out the?
Your
Like
kid
your-
finds your kit.
Yeah, or like, so for Damien, like Damien teaches kindergarten, right? So like, if Damien overindulges, like over teaches or what, and recovers too much stress, then like the Superman analog kid is in his class, right? Like he has parent teacher conferences with the Emerald Evader or whatever that person's going to be, right?
Fucking
Nah,
Sentry.
a mom has him over for dinner, and
Yeah.
hitting it
Yep.
off.
Yep. So like, yeah, so like your life gets complicated by either heroes or other villains or like just weird crap showing up.
Sorry, Damien can't come out to crime right now.
And it's not. It might. It would be funny if like that person kept showing up at the jobs too, but it's mostly just going to like make it harder and harder to fit in over and over and over again, because like your home life just gets, or your like off-duty life gets weirder and weirder and weirder until you're like, I don't know. I'm like having cupcakes with the rhino for some reason, and then like the vultures on the Ferris wheel and trying to kill my kids.
Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to ask you. So is there an equivalent to coin?
Yes, it's cash essentially.
Okay. Well, in like, I guess this is just an idle thought I had there, is because you are juxtaposing the crime side of it with super villainy side of it.
Mhm.
Because basically in this you don't really trauma out, you villain out,
Mhm.
and like
yeah.
your end scenario for the characters, you just go out and become a super villain for reals.
Yep.
And it's just one of those thoughts that I thought about, is that like making delay take cash, because of basically that feedback loop that it creates.
Well, so secretly delay can take.
Well, is that just to buy another action though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It just
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
no, and it was just it just seems as a good way to motivate people to actually want money.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I was toying with early was just like putting everybody on a money clock that constantly filled and needed to be pulled down.
Yeah.
etc., etc.
Yeah, and that felt very aggressive and not as like it just sort of put everybody on the same clock, which is fine.
It doesn't feel personal to me.
Yeah, and one of the things I really want to foster this game, and I haven't like completely abandoned that concept or like what you're talking about with a delay costing money, but like one of the things that I really want to lean into is like every character being like this big weird person, right? That has like big weird powers and big weird problems, and those problems might be that you're running out of money, but like I want to explore why that is, and I want you to tell me what's going on, rather than like, no, you just have like an 8 clock that constantly ticks forward unless you're putting money into it, because fuck capitalism, I guess, which is also like a minor theme in the game, but like
It's kind
Yeah.
of depressingly true to life.
yeah, like I'm definitely like, it's impossible to not put politics in things that you build, like your own personal stuff, but like I want this I don't want that to be like, because Blades is very much about like struggling against the forces of like the economy you're trapped in, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing this thing because I'm poor and I have no other options. And that's not true here to an extent. Like, you each have a big thing that you're freaked out about that you need to deal with. But you're not, like, necessarily economically under the gun. You might be about to die because your meteor power, or, like, need to punch. You have a timeline inside which you need to punch a deity. Like, that feels much more super villainy to me, at least right now. And obviously, if that turns out to be, like, not a thing, like, if that turns out to be too esoteric or too weird or too hard to grab onto, then I'm definitely going to revisit that. Like, I'm not, nothing in this stage in the playtest, excuse me, nothing is set in stone. Like, the reason we're doing this is because I want feedback and I want to watch stuff get bad and weird and what I need to fix and what works and what doesn't and all that. So
We want to kind of try and break things a little bit.
exactly. And if you feel like there's a problem or something that's not, if you don't understand why something is that way, or it's not obviously doing a thing that makes sense to you, or it's doing a thing that feels bad somehow, definitely bring that for sure to me. I definitely want to get your feedback, and I hope that none of you feel like I'm ever discounting it at all. There will probably be times when I want to see a specific thing, and so like it'll make I'll front burner that thing to a point that may not make sense to you unless I say that out loud. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I want to see this thing fail in an interesting way at the very least.
Right.
All right, so let's do downtime stuff, or end of session stuff real quick. So
Yeah.
we each get 2 end of session slots. Until next time we play, we can talk about the crew thing. So you said there was some way for us to stave off the Damien's down usage clock, for example.
Yeah, so there's a number of downtime actions, one of which is delay. And all delay does, you take that delay downtime action, and all that does is make sure your clock doesn't tick forward this session. Because every session, your clock's going to tick forward 1. I might come up with some idea to, like, punish you and tick it forward more than once at a time, but every time the clock is going to tick forward 1.
And what does that represent?
That's just, like, timeline running out, right? So for Desperado, that's just like life running out. For Enzo, that is the surveillance state he's trying to avoid getting closer, right? Like coming closer to being to being a thing that he has to worry about. For Telefrag, it's the agency that created him or that he's on the run, getting one step closer to finding him, right? And for Damien, it's going to be like the window for punching God is closing or getting closer, and you're not making any progress towards it.
Okay.
Right. So if you take the delay action, you just kind of rationalize why or what you're doing to make that not happen right now. Like maybe the old guy is shooting himself full of special drugs to stave off the darkness a little longer.
I've had a few different thoughts. I'm still workshopping it.
Yeah, maybe Enzo is like writing viruses to drop into surveillance code, like drone surveillance code.
I kind of want to chew on that a bit because it feels like, because here's what, because normally under the circumstances, or normally what you do is you look at, okay, I'm going to spend one of my segments on training, whatever, one on stress, and like the other one on, like the clock, right? Like my own personal thing. And it kind of feels like the clock ticking forward is taking away one of those downtime actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it's almost always stated that like you reduce stress after a mission. I mean, that you just do that. Otherwise, the next mission is going to suck. It's possible you can walk out really light, but in general,
Like,
I
I
only-
got really lucky and I've got no stress here, so I'm actually probably going to spend some time plotting.
I only have 3 stress. If the odds are if I roll dice, I'm not coming back. So
you're not coming back.
Damien goes on a
That's bad.
I mean, it's not that you're not coming back. Is that like the first day of class you meet the grandmother of one of the kids as they pick them up from school, and it's Wonder Woman. Like that's just
well, no,
like,
yeah, it just means that next session I'm not playing Damien, and like
no,
I understand.
no, it doesn't mean that at all. No,
I mean,
no, there's
that
nothing
is-
here. There's nothing here.
yeah.
Like I don't even have a point like entanglement arrests in this thing, right? I do not intend on taking your characters away.
But that's like that was the whole thing of Blades, right? Like if you bend her out.
Well, but Blades also there are a number of options that you can take. Like it's not just that you disappear for a while, right?
Mhm.
There, you can also bring more heat back with you, or get somebody in trouble, or that's just one of several options.
Okay.
Blades never tells you have to do a thing. Like very, very rarely. Blades almost always presents you with an option or a set of options that you can sort of wiggle your way out of if you really.
The only time you really have to lose a character or put a character on the shelf is if they go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
thought,
if they go to jail or get 4 traumas essentially.
okay. Okay.
So in this, like, if
I've
you
played this game 3 times, and that's not for more than for 3 campaigns, and that was not something that a rule that I had.
Huh. Yeah, I mean,
Understood.
we definitely did do overindulges. I've seen us do a lot of overindulges. They're like, yeah, no, you just like get lost in the thing. But that's not the only thing. Like, you can lose money, you can gain heat.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
Oro's replacing his character for a week on Five Fingers because he traumatized out, because he wants to try a different character.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the real reason you go and do that, is kind of sort of to test the waters with something else.
Yeah, and have a way to come back. In this instance, like, if you like overteach, right? No, life just gets more complicated. Like, essentially, it's the Spider-Man rule, right? Like, home life gets weirder and more complicated and more complicated and more complicated. Like, it never
Aunt
But-
May needs rent money.
exactly. But Spider-Man never like disappears for a month. Like,
Well,
you're
I mean, he does, but
sometimes he goes off to space for a while, you know.
Where the hell?
well, sometimes Spider-Man's
that.
powers stop working for a while, and he decides it's better to not be Spider-Man for a bit.
yes,
But-
or like one of his proteges takes over, or Doc Ock mind controls him. It works in a bunch of ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, like yeah, no. In so far, like I need to do entanglement. This is probably the next thing I need to work on since we're actually like doing that now.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I have no intention of taking characters away from people. Like, in fact, like I'm writing and this is actually a good point to make. I'm actually writing the patrons in a way to like be able to get you out of jail if they need to, right? Like, getting imprisoned is not the end of your character. It's like your ends will be much worse than that.
That's what the clocks are for.
Exactly. The clocks are counting down, and if the clocks wind up feeling like too much pressure, then we can back it off. But I'm not sure what too much pressure is, honestly.
Okay.
Like if you feel like you have to spend a delay action every time out, and that feels like it's hurting the experience, we'll absolutely go back and look at the thing. Like I said, this is all experimental.
On my initial thing, I feel like the clocks are good because they give your character something to work at outside of the jobs, other than just doing crime time for crime time's sake,
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent. I can see where it does get stressful because it feels basically like, say we get into a war, like we don't have war as a thing in this yet, but if war was to happen as a thing, like we get into a gang war, like, okay, we're down to 1 downtime action, and our clock is still ticking. We have to do that. So that's gonna like super ramp up that stress. And for like me, I'm all about that risk management thing, so I dig it. Other people may not necessarily, and so that's something we'll keep track of right now. I don't think if somebody has a problem, obviously please say because that's a thing, but like,
yeah, the goal is to give you goals, right? The goal is to have you have a reason to go do silly supercrime things in pursuit of a thing. And I feel like the clock's just a natural fit for Blades because everything's a clock. And the clock is naturally a time pressure. So
it's interesting seeing your solution to this versus on Saturday when I was talking with Dylan about Blades Against Darkness. And the solutions that he's testing to kind of do a similar thing from a different angle.
Okay. I see eyes closing. So I think we can call it and we'll come back.
Yeah, so good plan.
Yeah.
I'm good with talking through. I know that we're sort of moving Blades. Blades is usually pretty fast. But I feel like there's a lot of information to digest here. And hopefully people aren't feeling like this is non-productive. Because I really appreciate you guys doing this for me.
No, we did a lot
And
tonight.
kicking the tires and the thing. I hope you enjoyed yourselves in the snake caper.
Yes.
Yes. It's a great snake caper.
All right. Then I guess that's us signing off. Internet, thank you for watching. This has been That D&D Podcast doing a playtest of an as yet unnamed Super Prime Blades hack.
I'm telling you, crooks and capers.
Like, I don't know. We'll come up with something.
We'll keep shopping. It's fine.
Hot Child in the City. That's what we're going to call it. Please stick with the naming convention. All right. Good night, everyone. Mike, you can play us out.
Okay, then this is the part where I turn off the button.
Thank you, Mike.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Mike.